Make sure they're muted on YouTube. Hey, what's up, Awoken?
We only have 3 waiting. Wow. What happened with that?
Hey, good night, everyone. It is Reefing with O, here with Dave's Nano Tank. Oh, you can hear me fine, Dave, right? Yeah, we were just speaking.
But I'm listening on Hangouts, so I don't know what's going on YouTube. Well, Bubba's here, Falcon Quick's here. So, yep, they were just waiting for you to come in.
Hey, what's up, G? Hey, man, I haven't spoken. Jeeves sent me a message on Facebook. I haven't spoken to Jeeves in a while. It's almost like you used to talk to Jeeves every day, and then,
yep, you know. I saw him in the chat last night, and he said he just got busy, but everything's good. Maybe he'll come in. It's been a while.
What's up, Bubba? What's up, Falcon Quick? What's up, Vauxhall Grade 9 Grosset? Vauxhall, that's like a UK truck brand, right? I think that's what it is.
It's a street in Union.
Carlos 20. Oh, that's Carlos. What's up, is that Carlos we saw at
Yep, that's Carlos who came out.
That is Carlos. Oh, who gave me a right? Carlos. What's up, Carlos?
Hey, Jeeves came in.
Hey, what's up, Jeeves?
What's up, fellas?
How was life on the? Yeah, how's life on the Mississippi, man?
Oh, busy. I'm here right now.
Oh, you see that? Oh, it's a high school in Jamaica. Vauxhall.
Wait a second. Here in Jamaica, why do Vauxhall?
Yeah.
Wait, where is Vauxhall High?
It's in Jamaica.
Oh, it's in Kingston. Yeah, I'm on the other side of the island. I'm from Montego Bay. I went to Cornwall College. So big up to my Jamaican YouTuber listening in Jamaica. Yeah.
That's good.
How's things, Jeeves? How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good, bud. Staying busy.
Yeah. Is it busy this time of year?
Yeah, it picks back up when your gas prices start climbing. It starts picking up.
Because before we can talk about something for a few minutes before we get into reefing, but you know, when I go to Memphis, the hotel I stayed at is right literally on the Mississippi at Memphis. And I just noticed more than usual this time, there was a lot of barges and just stuff going up and down.
Yep, this time of year, everybody's traveling. So all of your refineries are putting out more product. It slows down usually starting November, December. But then when the river level comes up in the spring, it's a little slower too because it takes so much longer to travel.
I see. All right.
Down on this end, when the river gets above, 35-foot stage, on this end, every 50 miles they have a checkpoint. And so what they do is during the day, it's northbound traffic only. You have to be checked in at a certain time. And then at night, or the other way, it's southbound traffic during the day, it's northbound at night. And you'll see a line all day going south, and then at night you'll see a line going upriver.
Wow.
Well, that's work for you.
No, because it slows us down a lot.
Gotcha. What's up, T65? How you been? Falcon Quick. Did I just lose sound or did everybody get quiet?
No, it's me. My phone was ringing.
I got you.
Sorry. Hey, Murphy. What's up, Murphy?
You got a link up there if somebody wants to come in?
I do got a link.
No, I got one in there.
All right. I think the topic I want to try to stay to, if possible, is about the heat. Like, I want everyone to tell me, is the heat affecting their tank and to what extent? I think I was telling you about what happened to me at when I saw you at Absolutely Fish, where I usually use a chiller. And for some reason, I decided, man, well, not for some reason, because my wife's been complaining about the electric bill. I decided to try and not use the chiller this year.
Well, you're just trying fans, right?
Yeah, I got 2 of those fancy Tunzi, overpriced Tunzi Aquawind fans.
Yeah. Computer
put them on the back. You know what? To be honest, that I think that's exactly what they are. I actually talked to Roger at Tunzi, and he said they're working on something a lot better. But literally, I think they're cheap. Let me not say cheap, but they're computer fans.
Yeah.
In a nice form factor that they put it in. And I tried 2 of those, and basically you have to run them 24/7.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine who's an electrician he said, I don't think you're well, first of all, I lost a lot of coral because of heat, because the temperature got up to 85, 86. Like there was a point where the fans just couldn't hold the temperature steady anymore. Right. So I lost a lot of things. I ended up having to put the chiller back on. It just wasn't working out. But a friend of mine who's an electrician said, if you have a properly sized chiller that's working efficient, it's probably not using that much more power than you running the fans all day, all night. Because the chiller should theoretically come on,
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, because the fans are probably 12-volt fans, so it's probably stepped way down. You're probably not using a lot of kilowatts, Do they have like a power brick on them?
They don't. They're just USB, basically.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though. So USB is only 5 volts.
So the chiller is using a lot more power.
I would think so. Yeah, compressor kicking on. I mean, that's like a mini air conditioner, a mini refrigerator, a chiller.
Yeah. Well, but it was that or just lose everything. Because every time we had a really hot day, like I would see bleaching. And I held out as long as I could.
Yeah.
Until I couldn't anymore. Now, I think, to be honest, I think, Dave, I have a undersized chiller. I'm using a 110 horsepower. I think I should.
About them. I've never bought one or looked into getting one.
And do you think it would also be more efficient if I was like exhausting the air outside the hot air?
If the chiller's blowing hot air, yeah. I had an issue with that just recently. The basement flooded. So it's usually nice and cool in the basement, but a lot of water came in due to this storm. It's not a normal thing. So I went out and bought a dehumidifier, and if you know what they are, it's just basically a backwards air conditioner, and it blows a lot of hot air. So I ran into a temperature issue, and the tank was up about 85, but I didn't see any downside to it. And then I had the window open, but I thought, what am I doing, dehumidifying Clifton?
Falcon Quick is asking, no AC in the household. So it's a New York City apartment where we basically have AC sticking out of there's no, where we basically have AC sticking out of every. And also I'm in a building, there's a taller building beside me. And then in my kitchen. So basically what I'm trying to say is every window has a taller building shielding it. So, that breeze. So, Dave, you open your window and you get that nice air flowing through, even on cool days.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Yeah, my apartment is warm. I have to admit that in the winter, I rarely have to use a heater, except for really cold days. Yeah. But it's something I've been dealing with for 10 years. Like, my apartment is just warm. I don't know why. So, yeah, I have an AC unit. And it works. I use it. It's probably running all day when I'm home, but I don't think it keeps the tank down to, 82, 83.
The tank should stabilize to whatever your ambient temperature is, but then again, you do have lights and pumps and things going that do heat up the water.
And a bunch of let me not say nonsense, but just bunch of stuff that, like, you have lights and pumps. I have T5s, LEDs, a UV sterilizer. I just have extra stuff.
A pile of power bricks throws off a lot.
Yes. So go figure, right? Someone said try Air King clip-on fans. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. That's actually what I'm using on the Nano, and it works really well. So I'm using like the Kessel gooseneck or the Kessel thing, and then you literally just clip one of those Walmart $8 fans on it.
Yep.
And it works. The one of the other things I hated with the fans is the humidity. Like you could feel the humidity. I hated the humidity difference that it created. Like I think I have a humidity monitor. I wish I had brought it here for the stream, but you could tell like the humidity in the apartment got higher because you have more evaporation.
Oh, definitely. That's what I was going to say. By blowing a fan across your tank, you're going to use a lot more ATO.
So just to show, I have a 20 something. I think it's between 18 and 20 gallons ATO.
Yeah.
And I had to refill it about every 10 days when I was using the fan. I was going through every, let's say 8 to 10 days somewhere. I put that, so I went to Orlando for a week, vacation. Then I went to work for a week, and I've been back from work for a week. I think I've used 25% of the same ATO, and I haven't refilled it since before I went vacation in Orlando. So that's the big difference in terms of top off that I'm using when I'm using a chiller versus running the fans all the time. Like it's a significant difference.
Yeah. Well, the air can only take so much humidity. It gets to a point where you're 100%, and your Nano probably brought the humidity way up in your apartment when it, evaporated.
And you just said dehumidifier, so I'm running like a dehumidity. Periodically, I have one that's connected to some weird humidity sensor that then kicks on when the humidity gets to. Oh man!
But that blows hot air. That's the only thing bad about a dehumidifier. It blows the hot air out. I don't know if you can exhaust them out. Like this one doesn't have a port. This was about a $200 one from Home Depot. But I just didn't want that stuff in the basement to start getting moldy. We got all the water up, but everything's soaked up. Every time you move like a Rubbermaid, there's a puddle under it. It was really disgusting.
One thing
Go ahead,
I was going to say, one thing I noticed, Dave, in my carpet is I think the last time I tried to use fans to primarily cool my tank, I have carpet in my living room, and I noticed my carpet developed a few wrinkles. And I think when I called a carpet guy to restretch it, I think he thinks at the time he thought the humidity had something to do with, just the carpet stretching out over time. So I think, yeah, I'm just going to use my chiller.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeeves.
I was going to say, Dave, with those dehumidifiers, if it's like the one I have, it intakes on the front and it export on the top, discharge on the top, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at the standalone air conditioning units that have the ports on them?
Standalone air conditioning?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, and they have a hose that goes out.
They've got the hoses, right? Well, I've seen where people have rigged, like the standalone AC I have has an intake and an exhaust port. So you can suck air from outside and then pump air out, hot air back out.
Right.
Because what I've read about them is some people say they make them somewhere they don't have the intake port.
Mm-hmm.
If you intake from inside the house and then it expels it outside, it's less efficient because it actually is drawing air through your doors and your windows, hot air back in.
Sure.
So they rig them up with a Rubbermaid and a hose. I've seen where people have done that with the dehumidifier. So they've bought the plate for a standalone AC to go in the window, the hose, and then they just put a like shoebox or a little bit bigger than the shoebox Rubbermaid on top of the dehumidifier, duct taped it or foil taped it down, and then ran that hose out.
Right.
So I don't know then is it working because it's not recycling air back in.
Right. I think the air coming out the top is the dry air, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I thought about when I saw somebody had rigged that. But it's still processing the water out. Then you're just drawing air again through your seams and windows and doors.
Exactly.
So where y'all live, I don't know what y'all's humidity is. It may not be bad. Like down here,
it's been bad. It's not like down there bad. I've been down there.
Hey, it was nice today. It was only like 85%.
Yeah. That's the thing I hate about traveling down there, man. It's like in the morning it could be 80 when I'm getting ready to like walk to the office when I'm working there, Dave. At like 8 o'clock in the morning, it's like 80 degrees already with like 80% humidity.
Yeah, it's sticky.
Yeah, you know how in the winter on those cold days, it's almost like your nose gets stuffed up and you get a cold.
Yeah.
Like when you're there, I feel like I'm constantly like trying to clean my nose because I'm thinking like, hey, there's something in my nose. Like I have a cold. Why do I have a summer cold? But it's not. It's literally just you can't breathe. It's just a difference. Yeah. I'm answering a question here where someone said they had a 1/4 horsepower chiller. And they said it takes about 20 minutes to cool his tank. His Red Sea, I think it was a Red Sea 350. I lost a comment.
Yeah.
And I was looking at my chiller.
1.5 degrees, he said.
I think mine takes about 10 minutes. It keeps it at about 80 degrees. And it only, I'm showing it on the screen now. Yeah, it keeps it between 80 at 80.5. Right. And it doesn't take that long to move it up and down. This little spike here was literally, I shot a video, Dave, and I turned the chiller off for literally 15 minutes to just shoot a video. And yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's 3 days ago. So I think next year what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a chiller that I think one that I've seen some that are like a heat. I'm going to basically plumb it into the system permanently. I see one that's like a heater and a chiller. So I'm going to kind of use it as my backup heater, still keep the primary heater in the tank, backup heater, and then figure out a way to vent it through the window. Like the same place where you have the AC, just maybe get, I've gone to Home Depot. I think you told me about it, or maybe I talked to you or Billy or somewhere where there's those flat kind of, when you want to put like your dryer right up against the wall, there's like a 4-inch. You can get these galvanized steel pipe that's really low profile, 3 or 4 inches. Yeah. And I'm going to put it through the same window here that the AC goes through. And so it'll be permanent, like a permanent installation. And I think that'll work. But I do not want to see the electric bill when it comes this month, though. So if you guys don't see me around, you know, the wife did something. Yeah. Reef Keeper is asking, how hot is the tank getting? Oh, before, Phil, honestly, let me see if I can go back. But before, I would say I had a few days where, all right, you know what? With Neptune, you can actually go back. So let me go back. I had days where my tank got to 85, 86 degrees. I think, so I've gone back now to June. 84 degrees is some of the lowest temperatures. The fans could have kept it. Yep. Yeah. 84.2. And there's some days where it spiked up to 88.
They're turning on you in the chat. You better start paying attention.
All right. I'm here. Who is ignoring the chat? No, Phil, I just answered your question. Tyler Seymour. Hi, everyone. Oh,
you better say hi to Death Mage or she's going to give you a thumbs down.
Hello, Death Mage. Hello, Biz. Biz says I have pH issues. Let me just say hi to everyone. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Death Mage. Hi, Jonas. Hey, Ireef. Hey, Death Mage again. Hey, Lisa again. Hey, Johnson Chow. AL. Dr. Welsh. Tyler, you're supposed to be in bed. Like, I sent you to bed. Like, how? I'm confused. I'm a little confused. Click clack. What up, click clack? All right. Reef Keeper. Oh, like on the river float when you had a booger. All right. So Phil, that's what you really told me to. I'm ignoring the chat. Death Mage. Love it. I posted 2 videos at 4K. Oh, she's talking about, hey, Mage, I want to ask you about that phone. I'll call you and you can tell me about that phone because I have someone is interested. Reef Keeper. Oh, is ignoring the chat. No, I am not. He didn't even say hi, DM. Hello, Death Mage. All right, I think I'm caught up now.
Yeah.
Better to say hi to Mage first, or you brown bread, man. Hey, Death Mage, what's up?
You see her new phone?
I saw the live stream about it, and I am not interested in. I think I'm an iPhone person through and through, but I know a couple of people who are interested in Android.
Watch the video of her 4K test, and it. I'm not even sure if she hit all the settings on it yet. Phil was saying something about it, but it looked really good. Especially the second tank, Mage. There was a lot of bubbles in the first tank, but once you got over to the other tank, it was so clear.
What I like. Look, I'm not gonna get into the whole Apple versus Android thing because, to be honest, I think I like both. I think I have an iPhone for my wife because we all use Apple products, and I think we want it integrated and work together. The kids have iPhones, but I used to use Android. I don't. It's just like Windows versus Mac. One is more. I don't know. It doesn't matter, but I do like some of the things that I like that out the box with some of the Note, you can mess with the camera settings, while Apple, I'll probably have to get a third-party app to be able to tweak some of the settings of their camera. So I do like it.
Well, you know what I feel that the thing is, you get the new Apple, you get the new iPhone, you got the best iPhone. But with Androids, there's so many phones to choose from. But she's got the Note 9. That's probably top of the line Android phone, I would think. And it looked really good.
I think the raw in terms of performance of the cameras, I don't think it gets better than the Note 9. To be honest, man, like when I shot all those videos, my vacation videos, with my iPhone and like a case, and there's very few. I don't have a really expensive wireless mic for my iPhone, so to be honest, I have like a Sony A6000 camera. I think that's the only when I need to. And it's never come up. If I'm thinking I want to interview someone, that's the only, because I have a wireless mic for it. That's the only time I think I want it. Like I can shoot stuff from my phone, and you'll never know that it's not a,
right.
It's not a pro camera. Plus, when you look at your analytics, Dave, like most people are watching the videos on their phones these days anyway. So.
No, I get it. But the good thing is, in a year or two, your iPhone will be as good as that S9. Sorry, I had to take a shot.
Jonas, how's the Nano doing? Oh, which Nano? So my son's Nano lost a hammer colony, lost a ACAN colony, but other than that, everything is doing fine. I think the dino flagellates are coming back in that tank, Dave. I don't know if it's just the salinity thing, just the evaporation just caused an imbalance. So
definitely, you definitely shocked your whole bio load.
The fish, when I started to bring the salinity up that night by adding a cup of water every hour, the fish jumped out. He died. So, in terms of the corals that's left, they look fine, but overall, the tank, it's looking okay.
How high did the salinity get? Were you in the 30s or like
close to 40?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a third of the tank evaporated.
No, I can imagine that it was a lot. I just didn't
almost a half. Yeah. The power head broke because it was a little bit out of the water. It was the Jabo SW2, so it's not working as well anymore. So
it's an all-in-one, right? So it was starving probably.
Yeah, it was starving. Oh, the pump melted.
Right.
Yeah, the pump melted. You know what? I was leaving the next morning, and somehow I think I threw out the pump. But I took a lot of pictures of it. But to give me a warranty or to at least look at it, Innovative Marine wants me to send the pump in. I don't have it, so I guess I can't get a replacement pump, even though it was my fault.
Doc said his clown goby was eating his ACANs. I never even heard of that. Wow. Sorry, Doc.
Vauxhall said, I have to get a chiller. The hobby's going to make me a bridge light. I hate the fact that I have to get a chiller, man. And they're expensive. I think other than lights, that's the single biggest piece of single cost that I have on my tank. I have a JBJ 110 horsepower. It's expensive. Yes, Mage, I did watch your video. I don't know why that is like a thing. Dave, you had a really thumbs up stream yesterday. I agree. I agree. I agree.
I had lots of good conversation, lots of good talk. Stayed on reefing, so everybody was happy.
And AL thinks his monitor is not good enough to watch that video.
Yeah, I had to change my YouTube settings to watch her video, and then it had to refresh, and then it caught up, and it looked really good. I don't know what Reef Spy uses, but Reef Spy's got some really good video too.
I've seen, listen, CJ uses everything on his phone in terms of editing, and I think his stuff comes out good. So, I watched the video. Some of the video made some. Yeah. I liked it. I liked the quality of the camera. There is something there. I think the one thing from what I saw of Mage's video, like immediately, the one thing where you would struggle with a regular, what I see a phone is when you're trying to do depth of field, when like to zoom in or concentrate on something in the foreground while blurring the background, and when you want to do really close macro. And from what I've seen of Mage's camera, like it seemed to do those two things well for a phone. So I was impressed by that.
Well, what I noticed, I've got an old Samsung Note 4, and I noticed, when you're taking a picture of the shot of the tank, you touch on the screen what you want it to focus on, and it automatically dials that in, almost like a face recognition, but you're, telling it where within the picture you want it most focused. And I'm sure, all the phones probably do that now. The 4 is an old phone, but even that it's an old phone, it's still a great camera. It's better than my new Motorola phone.
And Biz is saying it has an external mic. So I was impressed. I'm still going to use my iPhone and just at this point in time now, I think I'm getting up to be there where I'm getting to that age where I'm not really caring about getting the latest and greatest all the time. Just whenever I need something, I'll just buy. I guess it's just getting old and just having kids. You can't just spend money, wherever.
Yeah. Kids need stuff.
And then going back to school too.
Oh, back to school shopping?
Oh man. And I gotta put some funds away for this Magna trip.
It don't matter. Kids need Nikes, bro.
Oh man. Thank God.
My kids. Big as always, his kids probably outgrow Nikes about twice a year.
Hey, but thank God my kids aren't really into that stuff yet. They'd rather have like
gadgets,
video games and gadgets rather than like Nikes. They're not at that. Well, they can't wear it to school because their school wears a uniform, but thank you.
That's where you save that.
They're not into it yet.
Yeah, if it was a public school, you got to have good sneakers. Otherwise, you get chewed out.
OG says, "So, bro, that's some good light you have on you tonight. Thank you. Thank you. I went out and got this light just for you, OG. So OG's been sending me messages, like letting me know, like, come on, bro, you got to do better with the lighting. Like, you look terrible. So, OG, I got a light just for you. Anybody else got anything with the temperature? I really think it was responsible for my coral losses, and I think everything stabilized once I did that. I got my worldwide corals order, Dave. You know what, man? I probably should have done a video on that.
No video. You're slipping.
I wasn't home. My wife acclimated everything for me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Lisa's Aquatics hasn't done a video in like a month. Get on that, Lisa.
Yeah. I got some good deals from WWC. And what I also did, Dave, I think the night before they shipped my order, they shipped my order on Tuesday for delivery on Wednesday. So I just happened to go on eBay and just bid on a few things. and I won some things, and I texted them, well, emailed them after and said, hey, I have this order coming, shipping tomorrow. Can you include the eBay orders for free? And they did. So, yeah, that was good. The eBay auctions end on Monday, so if you're ever gonna place an order with them, you can also bid on their eBay stuff, and it just, you know, they'll ship everything for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Lisa. Well, I just want to tell Lisa the reason why I went to your page, because I'm thinking of doing, every time I do an update, once a month, once every 2 weeks, I want to throw in a new channel that I'm enjoying, because there's a lot of channels that really don't have enough subs, and I'm enjoying the content. You know, Blue Carbon Reef, to name one, and you know, I want to just give them a little shout out. And I don't know if it'll help the channel, hurt the channel, but I just wanted to acknowledge them. And you were one of them, but I didn't see any new content. So how could I send people over there?
Yeah, speaking, that's a, you know what, since we're not having questions about like heat or stuff like that, or we'll intermix, but what channels, that's true. That's a good thing. What channels are you watching these days?
Blue Carbon Reef has been knocking it out with DIY, and or he'll talk about a particular fish. I like his style, you know, and he runs the videos run a little long, but he keeps you entertained the whole time, so it's not bad, you know. And you know, Murphy's, I've been watching Murphy, but we all did our little Murphy video. You didn't do one yet, did you?
No, didn't even know about it.
Oh, well, Billy started a contest, and you know, I think he's giving away $100 Amazon money to the winner, and it's not even for his subs. He's trying to get Murph's subs up to a certain point, and I think Murphy's like 50 subs away. So you do a video, say Murphy's Aquatic for the win, and all you got to do is you title it that. Well, Billy has a video on the whole thing. But you can be silly about it. You could show your tank, and there's a lot of funny ones. There's a lot of good ones to watch.
All right, so I am looking. So Blue Carbon, I'm subbed. I think, you know, I'm literally looking at my history now, and I think the last couple of videos I've watched, Reef videos, I've watched Reef Glow. He doesn't make videos very often. I watched the usual Reef Girl. I did watch a bunch of Murphy's videos yesterday with the build, and then some of because his frag tank is looking awesome. I'm a little jealous of that. I'm really a little bit jealous of that. Yeah, I watched a bunch of Murphy's videos yesterday. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the usual. Because I usually have something always running in the background. Reef Dudes 915 Mang. Nat is currently breaking down his tank. Dave's Nano tank, 100-gallon mixed reef, A New Hope. I thought Dave was breaking down his tank. I saw that title. I called him up immediately and said, "What's going on, man?"
Were you concerned, or did you want frags?
I was wondering what was happening. I you know, when you say, when someone says goodbye to the tank, like, I'm immediately thinking like, oh, they're moving, or something bad happened, or the tank crashed, or like they're leaving the hobby. Like, I don't know. My mind just goes into that like place. And I had just spoken to you like a few days before, or the week before, and if you were upgrading, I felt like we would have spoken about it.
No, well, I did break it down. I took every rock out of that tank and chipped off what I wanted and chipped off what I didn't want and put it all back in. So
yeah, when you said break down, though, I think break down in the traditional sense.
Right. Yeah, no, I got it.
I'm in that process right now.
Oh, that intro was really great. Thanks, Biz. I really enjoyed it. If they had let me keep the Star Wars music with it, that would have been really good. But that was flagged 30 seconds after I uploaded it. They didn't flag it. They said they would play it, but they couldn't monetize it. But they'd still play commercials, and you know, whoever, George Lucas or somebody, was going to get the 15 cents or whatever the video was going to make.
Hey, Greg Carroll. Hey, Greg, are you going to MACNA? I think the last time we asked you, you said you weren't sure. So definitely going to MACNA. I think everything is finalized. So if you're going to be there, we should definitely set up some time to talk. I did like the intro too, Dave, and I immediately thought like, hey, he got away with it. That's what I immediately thought. Like, hey, he got away with it. But I've actually had a few of my videos flagged recently, even though I got them from YouTube themselves, no copyright sounds, but someone else flagged it.
Yeah, and then you got to go through and
I hate it.
Fight it, and you know.
Reef, what he meant, you clickbaited. Oh yeah, he did clickbait. Dave did clickbait. So, hey, I called him. I didn't even watch the video yet. I just saw the title and just called him and said, hey, what's going on? Hey, but Dave, if you are selling a few of those like bird's nest colonies, I'm interested.
I got you. I don't know when I'm gonna decide whether we're going on Saturday or not. But
all right,
I'm definitely going next weekend on the 1st.
So yes. So if it's anything, I'll definitely see you next week. If not this week, then next week.
Yeah. And whatever you want, you just watch a video and tell me what you want, or call me up on the phone and we'll figure it out.
All right. Call Me Nemo said, Dave, stop inviting more people to Billy's Murphy's for the win. More people means it's more difficult for you to win.
I don't even care. Like, some people may not want to join a contest or enter a contest, but just do it for Murph. Murph does a lot for you guys. Just make a video. Somebody might see it that doesn't know about Murph. That's the way I feel about it.
I've seen a couple people say CJ is there. Oh, someone says what happened to CJ. Yeah, I think he took a break from the hobby. To be honest, I think usually this time of year you don't see CJ much anyway, because I think he coaches football.
Right.
So I don't think, to be honest, like, even if I think CJ broke down and sold the tank, but even if he didn't sell the tank, I think you probably wouldn't have seen him until October, when football season was finished. And that's if they don't make the playoffs and don't go far. That's the earliest you're seeing him, end of September, early October. If his team does well and goes to the playoffs, then it's a lot later than that. So, yeah, he took a break, but I think he'll be back.
Click-clack says, I remember New York Steel, though, Click-clack, but I don't know who Thomas Reef is.
Thomas Vision Reef is, I think he was a videographer, like
the channel doesn't ring a bell. I mean, I may have watched the video and not saw who was by. I do watch a lot of video.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. Yeah. So I think, I think the thing that, you know what, I'm not subscribed, and I think I'm going to resubscribe now, because I've been looking at the videos and it looks like he hasn't, you know what, he put out a video a month ago, and I'm going to resubscribe now. Thomas Vision Reef, I used to follow the tank a lot, but then the channel started getting, I started getting notification for like wedding videos and a bunch of other stuff that was not reef related.
Right.
And that annoyed me a little bit, because that's what I subbed for. So I stopped subbing, but I think what eventually happened is he was filming tanks, talking, interviewing people, and then I think his business, his wedding business, and so got took off. So he had less time for reefing, which is fine. He's a videographer, so whether he's shooting reef tanks or shooting weddings or shooting other things, I'm glad he's doing well. So I'm looking at his channel now, and he put out a video a month ago. So I guess he's back doing reef tank stuff. So hopefully we'll see more of him.
D from Brooklyn knew more about what happened to Stilo. But I think, something happened in his life, a family matter or whatever. And, I don't even know if he still has a tank, but he did stop making videos.
Yes, I was friends with him on Facebook. And as far as I know, I just saw him put out a thing that says he was, I think his mom was sick. So something happened with his family, without putting too much of his business out there. And right. I think he broke down the tank. But I really think You know what? I can't find him on Facebook anymore because I know I was friends with him. But the thing is, you know how on Facebook you can be like, you can have your name and then in parentheses you have New York Stilo.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he also had a Facebook group that he shut down, I guess. So you know what? I don't know. I know I was friends with him and just I kept messaging him every now and again. Say, hey man, how you doing? He was like, I'm good. I know he used to answer people question on Facebook because then I would see people, you know, hit him up like, hey Stilo, how you doing? But I can't find him now. I just literally just did a Facebook search for New York Stilo. I tried to visit one of the old groups, excuse me, and there's nothing on Facebook about New York Stilo stuff from 2013. So it looks like and I don't remember his normal name, and I probably wouldn't have said it out loud even if I remembered it anyway. So, but I remember he's why I tried a deep sand bed initially.
He had a lot of good info because he would try things and tell you what he thought, you know, and he would get back to you on it. Like Miracle Mud was one of his videos, and a couple of things. So it was definitely good video. It's still good content, you know.
Hey, Greg, you popped in. I didn't even see you, man. I'm sorry.
And Billy's.
How you guys doing?
I'm good. Billy, how you doing, Billy?
What up?
Oh man, that's not the Billy Pipes we know and love. What's up, Billy?
How's that foot, Billy? How's the foot?
Better than my fish tank.
Oh.
Because the foot's going to heal.
Yep.
We're trying to cheer Billy up, Greg. I think Billy has a little chip in his fish tank, and he's worried about it, so he's feeling down now. So we're trying to cheer him up.
The crack got bigger.
It did?
Yeah. It's not just a chip. Okay. It's a crack.
Ooh.
It's getting longer. Yeah, that's not good.
Oh, that's not good. Hey, you need some help emptying it, man?
I gotta get a tank first.
Yeah, but I mean, I could come down and help you move the stuff to like a horse trough in the basement or something.
I have to get that first too.
Yeah, but we could go and get a horse trough or go to Home Depot and buy like a big, sturdy, 50-gallon container.
Yeah. I gotta figure something out tomorrow.
Watch your chat. Right. Oh, watch your chat.
Hey, Murphy! Thank you, Murphy. Thank you for that super chat. Thank you very much, Murphy. I am the worst host on the planet. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Murphy. I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah, so I told Billy when he's ready, if he needs help, I'm there. So,
hey, exclusive, man, exclusive. How you doing, man? I know exclusive. I know exclusive is somebody that exclusive will be back because while he currently doesn't have a tank, the fact that he pops into chats and live streams every now and again shows you that reefing is in his DNA, and he'll be back.
Means he's still sub to you.
Hey, Greg, how's the tank going? The new build. Oh, he put us on. He's on mute.
Yeah. So, did you decide anything yet, Bill? Since we talked this afternoon, or?
Yeah, Ocean Gallery is going to hook me up with a 120.
Okay. I didn't want to say nothing. I was talking to O earlier, and I said, "Well, we'll see if Billy comes in."
Billy. All right. So you're getting a 120.
Yeah.
Carlos said he's not far either, so if you need something, let him know.
I'm just super back and forth on what to do. Like, I get it; it's no big deal and all, but the tank has been running like freaking flawlessly. Everything is encrusted. Everything is purple. Everything is healthy, growing, and now I gotta freaking move everything.
I know.
Like everything became accustomed to the light and the flow for a year.
Right.
Now I gotta change it.
When are you gonna have that? You have any idea when you're gonna get that 120?
Tuesday. It'll be in.
Ooh, okay. All right, that's nice. That is nice.
When are you gonna build a stand though?
See, it's already Thursday or Friday, so tomorrow night I'm gonna try, and then Saturday I have a job first thing in the morning in Jackson. Then I'm going to go to ACC, and then pick up my daughter after that, and then I have her till Monday. Monday I have a job first thing, so I'm hoping it'll be done by Tuesday. I don't know. Even if it's not done, I still have to bring the tank home Tuesday. I'm going to fill it with fresh water outside, let it set overnight. Wednesday, I got to empty it, drill it, mount my overflow box, all that crap.
Right.
Plumb
Hey,
it.
Billy, if you need any help, man,
You can do it.
Move your little pot. Seriously? I will.
We'll send John over to help you drill it. $5 John.
how you
Sorry
doing
about
there,
that, O.
Hey,
I'm doing good. Doing
are
good.
you going to Mac now, Greg?
Unfortunately, not. I was
right.
advised that there's a birthday that weekend.
Oh, that you didn't remember.
Certainly didn't.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'm stuck.
All
But I
right.
was working on it.
All right.
Maybe you'll conveniently forget a gym and get non-refundable airplane tickets.
I would have to walk away from that. Well, I mean, round trip tickets only about $100, so.
Is it that really?
Yeah, it's cheap. It's a 1 hour flight.
All right.
Yeah.
He's close.
Yeah, Billy's video just went up.
Yep, I saw that.
Yeah.
It's a boring video. It's just me. I don't even know what the hell I said. I just talked and then uploaded it. So honestly,
Wow.
it might not even be kid friendly. I have no idea.
Oh, you're not in that kind of mood, huh?
Billy, seriously, man, if you need any help with anything, like I'll come down. We'll go get a horse trough, and we'll go move the stuff into the basement, and that'll give you more time because I know you like to take your time and get everything.
What my plan is for now is tomorrow I'm going to get a piece of 3/4 inch plywood and tape it. I'm going to cut it to the exact size that I need for the front. I'm going to duct tape the front, put this on over top of it, strap that to the tank, and take my time. That's all I can do. I know I should get another tank, take everything out, but I don't want to spend all kinds of freaking money.
Where is it cracked, Billy?
Right in the front.
Yeah, right in the front, about 4 inches from the bottom.
Right where the pressure is.
Yep, worst possible spot.
Can you lower the water level in there and just go with in-tank circulation?
It's still gonna. I mean, I could, but
well, I mean, it'll relieve some of the pressure.
I could take maybe 15 gallons out before all the coral's exposed. I'd have to start cutting everything and lowering it, which I could do, but I might as well just
How many
buy
gallons?
a baby. 75.
75.
Oh, okay, that's not that bad.
No, I mean it's
that's only like half an inch of water everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I had to. I'm sorry.
I'm just I'm always one to I always think about the ripple effect. So I'm thinking, all right, so I got to get new floors, whatever. But then I'm thinking, all right, what if my return pump runs dry and it's a 100-year-old home? What if something sparks and I come home and my dog's a crispy fritter and everything in the house is destroyed? That's how I think. So I gotta act fast. I mean, this morning I was like, screw it, I'm gonna put everything on Craigslist and tell everybody come get everything except for the tank.
And you can take the tank, but you can have everything, just get it out. Like, but then I have like serious Indo corals in there that are growing like ridiculously. So I'm thinking to myself, whatever.
Yeah, and not replaceable, really.
Yeah, I mean, coral, I can get coral anywhere, but like my green frog spawn.
You can't get Bob anywhere.
No, yeah. And he looks like shit now ever since I brought him to Palooza. I cooked him with too much light, so now he's like freaking all distorted. And
you cooked him with the light and then cut his freaking leg off.
Yeah, 2 of them. I should have sold him to Jason Fox. Damn it.
I'll babysit Bob if you want.
I got a question for DeAndre. So I was in Memphis and I was looking, of course, like we all do when you go to a new place, you look for reef stores to visit. And I saw DeAndre had visited and kind of did reviews on a couple of fish stores. Are those any good? The stores you recommended in Memphis? Because they're quite a ways away. So if I leave work at 5 and I'm going to go 30 minutes in one direction for a fish store, I want to at least know that it's worth it. Because I did that for another store in Memphis and it wasn't that good. So I want to make... Oh, DeAndre said he's in Memphis. DeAndre. All right, you know what, DeAndre? I'm going to message you through YouTube, man. Give you my... he said, okay. He said both stores in Memphis suck. So
he could probably tell you
where. Hey, still though, man, the next time I'm in Memphis, if you live in Memphis, I'm going to message you my number. And
I don't think they do get messages on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, you know what? I'll figure it out, man. I'll put my email address. Just message me. And when the next time I'm in Memphis, we can at least grab dinner or hang out or something. Because after 5 o'clock, I'm just sitting in a hotel room.
Yeah, DeAndre, he'll buy you lunch or he'll buy you dinner, man. It's on him.
Hey,
trust me.
It's on the company.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but he said both stores in Memphis suck. Memfish, I was not impressed.
Is there a place called Memfish? Are you kidding me?
There is a place.
It doesn't even sound like it's a good place at all.
That is, Dave. I shot video, even though the guy didn't want me to shoot video, and
he didn't want you to shoot video.
Yeah, I didn't want to shoot video of that thing.
That's when you turn right around.
No evidence. They don't want no evidence.
Yeah, but they don't. They don't. Yeah, but I just think it's just they don't understand technology, and I don't know. Oh, he's saying Memphis sucks.
Memphis sucks, and
she doesn't sell to the public anymore. Oh, oh, come on. All right, so I guess there's nowhere to go. If you know any basement guys in Memphis, then and I could visit, then the store wasn't good. They had nothing, and then the corals prices were high. Like something I would pay, Dave, we'd buy it absolutely for like $40-$50. It was double the price.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And absolute isn't cheap.
Yeah. And I got to say this, that I've always heard before, but, you go on Worldwide Coral's website, and this stuff is expensive on the website. But if you're ever in the store, visit the store. Like, there's more discounts available or stuff in the store. Like, I enjoyed... I didn't buy anything. My wife bought everything, and she got some good prices of stuff in store. So I love the store, love every minute of visiting the store, and I think it's worth checking out.
Okay, that's good, because when you were there, I went on the website and said, "Oh, let me see if there's something I like." And I'll tell O to bring it home, and I was like, everything I liked was over $200, and that's not me.
I texted Greg a receipt. Like, I don't want to publicize it, but Dave, I'll send you like a receipt of just like one of the discounts I got. So I'm happy with everything I got.
You were telling me your wife worked the deals.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes, she did.
And the corals are looking fine. So I like Worldwide Coral. It's definitely worth visiting. Took us a minute to find it because it's at the back of the plaza, but it was well worth visiting. DeAndre said he's not very... Listen, DeAndre, the next time I'm in Memphis, probably going to be towards the end of September. I work in East Memphis, right next to the iBank Tower, so I'm there. You could take me to a basement guy, man, and then I'll buy you dinner. We could do that. Like if I'm gonna be, I've visited a couple of stores in Memphis, and I haven't been impressed by any of them. So hopefully, someone can. You can, if you know anyone there, man, know any basement guy. I message a few basement guys on Facebook. I see people, they're in Memphis. And no one has gotten back to me. One guy says, I'm not a store. And I said, hey, do you sell coral? Like, I sent him my name. I said, I had a YouTube channel. Just want to come and look around. And if you ship and I can buy something and it's worth it, I can have you ship it back to me in New York when I get back. He never got back to me. So, but I just have to say again how lucky we are in the Northeast, and I'm sure, Greg, you on the West Coast, where we have just so many options versus other people. I know Pelfrey talks about it sometimes, where Pelfrey doesn't have, like, where he is in Kansas, where is he? Kentucky somewhere, where he doesn't have options. So I feel lucky now that, even though I'm in Brooklyn, like, even though some LFSs are just bad or not as good as Manhattan aquariums or somewhere else or absolutely fish, at least I have options where, some people don't.
Yeah, here we got a lot of options. We got some really good stores. But at the same point, we have some really, really good hobbyists that we can buy from. So that makes a huge difference.
That's cool.
Right. All right. I spoke about my. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Billy, man, if you need any help or need anything, I know, you want to do it yourself, man. But if you need anything, man, let me know. I'll be happy to come up there and help. I'm going to keep calling you every day and keep asking you if you need help.
Don't keep calling me every day.
I'm going to keep calling you every day, man, until that new tank is up and running, and I'm going to keep calling you every day to make sure you're all right.
That's going to take I'm hoping to have the other one set up and everything switched by next Sunday. I'm going to wait. It's going to be about a week. I'm going to push it and see if I can get it done.
All right. I'm glad. 120, that means all your equipment should just seamlessly integrate into the new tank, right?
It's going to go downstairs because there's no sense in keeping it up here because he's only going to get bigger, stronger, and throw more things. So I put it downstairs and visit it as often as I can.
It's a shame they don't make screen protectors for your tank,
Yeah, right? Like a sneeze guard.
Oh, big piece of plexiglass or something that you could see through.
Diacantha says basement setups are my favorite for buying coral. He would prefer to take the fish from the wholesalers, but he doesn't have a license, and cutting the LFS out of the deal makes me feel bad.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show how important LFSs are. Because I got a pretty good tank for a pretty damn good price that you can't get. I mean, they beat, almost all places by like 250. So.
Yeah, the thing for me that kills us here is like the 8% tax. But then what I do learn, I learned last year when I bought my Apex locally, is while, the LFS is, there's map prices they have to sell, and they have to do the taxes, but a lot of times they might give you like when I bought my Apex, I got a credit for coral for the store, which, to be honest, if I saved that $100 that I save in taxes, it's probably going to buy coral anyway. So the fact that it gave me like a store credit to come back and get coral, the money I saved was going to go back to the store anyway. So I learned that about my LFS, that they're willing to, if you talk to them for big purchases, they can help. So I think I've done that with most of my big purchases after that. And sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't, but at least it kept the LFS in the conversation. Fish, I'm still trying to figure that out because I like doing tank transfer method with the fish, and when you get it from Live Aquaria and you have a 2-week warranty, like that's hard to beat. Like I don't know. If someone has a better suggestion about fish, I'll happily take it. But I just like the fact that you get a 2-week warranty with Live Aquaria, and you could put them through like the tough quarantine process and not worry about that.
Hey, O.
Yeah.
I was just, we actually just went on vacation up to Northern California. I went to Steinhardt Aquarium. And I got a behind the scenes, me and the family got a behind the scenes tour over there with Richard Ross, since I know him. And we talked about quarantining fish and so forth. He actually feels that if a fish doesn't have any visible signs or anything that you feel like, you know, something looks off, he said 9 times out of 10 they're better off going right into the display than to quarantine them. And he said because so many people kill fish just in the quarantine process because it's stressful.
And
so that was his you know, that was his thought. I can tell you I've never quarantined a fish. I've paid the price once or twice, but for the most part, it's always worked out.
Man, you're like,
this is just what he said. You know, I'm just going based on what he said. I never quarantined simply because I didn't have a second tank. So, but yeah, he feels that it's very stressful. The quarantining process and medication process is very stressful to the fish.
Dev, we can't hear you. I see you smiling. There you go.
There we go. Hey, yes. I said, do you want the politically correct answer or do you want my answer?
You know what? I just tank transfer, like the flukes and the other internal deworming. I really don't do that. I'm more scared of ick than anything. Mm-hmm. So I literally just do tank transfer and then they go into display.
Okay. My politically correct answer, yes, you should always quarantine. What I do answer,
Dirty Pirate.
Before I buy a fish, I don't really order them online. I like to see them first. I will sit at the store and watch it for like 20, 30 minutes sometimes. And I'll make sure there's no marks on it. There's no spots, you know, make sure it's eating, make sure there's no funky stuff, right? I really just give it a really good look over. I have personally never had a big issue. I'm sure maybe my output or outlook would change if I had a big issue. I never have. I've never had to deal with flukes. There's been the odd ick type of bit, but it's always healed itself. I feel that all these tank transfer, all these dips, I feel a lot of that stuff stresses the fish. So I do agree with that to a certain extent. So I do think a lot of that does stress the fish. When the fish is stressed, its immune system is weaker and it's more susceptible to catch diseases, right? Or it's harder for them to recover. So I do agree with that to a certain extent. Now, on the flip side, if you have a tank that's, you know, you're thousands and thousands of dollars of fish, and you can potentially wipe them out by adding one diseased fish. I mean, that's a huge side for the plus of quarantining, right? I don't have the space for another tank. I haven't either. I usually buy from places that I have a lot of confidence in, that they kind of pre-quarantine a bit. Then I watch the fish myself a bit and make sure I have confidence that I don't think it has anything. I mean, there's still a risk, but I'm at least I feel that I'm mitigating a huge chunk of it the way I do it. So I do agree to an extent. Also,
that's pretty much what Rich Ross said.
I've had flukes and other diseases before, but I think the one that scares me is like ick. Maybe I'm just scared because I've seen. I've seen it wipe out friends' tanks.
Crypto's the one I would worry about because that can wipe out everybody in like a couple days.
It's tank transfer and they go in. I've had flukes. I've seen flukes where it was on my Anthias and I treated and took him out and pinched it off of him and he didn't make it. Really? But I freshwater dipped fish and saw flukes come off before.
Yeah. But also think how much stress that is to the fish. You're taking them from the salinity they're used to and dipping in freshwater. To them, that's like completely different. It's like throwing you in freaking outer space for a few minutes, right? Like your buoyancy, everything totally off. Like it's a lot of stress to the fish. So yes, it might fall off, but you're also weakening the fish's immune system at the same time.
Well, the fish died. I agree with you. The fish died. It's just
I would only freshwater dip if the fish really can't breathe, if you see it struggling to breathe.
For me, it's got to be pretty bad for me to do that. I have never had to do it, but I'm also like super paranoid cautious. If I'm buying a fish and I see one fish in that same tank that looks like it's sick, I'm like, nope, I'll just hold off until another time, right? Like I'm just overly cautious, and that's been my strategy rather than quarantining. But quarantining is a good idea still.
Theoretically.
In theory, yeah.
And I have water dipped fish that were already dead before I threw them away.
Yeah.
Just to see what came off?
Yeah, see if flukes came off. Then, okay, I got to add the fluke situation.
For science.
Flukes, feed well, add additives to the food, and have a cleaner RAS.
I do think that goes a long way. I have a cleaner RAS. I love them. They're awesome. Same with the cleaner shrimp or fire shrimp. All of them, I see a fish come up and they're like, cleaning it. They're like little medics to your tank, right? It's preventative.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I'm going to kind of stick to I don't know why, but maybe it's because I've seen it wipe out friends' tanks. I've never gotten ick before in my tank. I've never gotten ick.
The odd spots once or twice, but it kind of just went away on its own, right? As long as your water's good, as long as you're feeding good stuff, like if the fish is healthy-ish, then it can get over it quick enough, at least in my experience.
I think my wife would not forgive me if I lost a fish to ick, and that's what. And for me, it's like I have no space. Just like so, I literally have a Petco 10-gallon that I keep on the fire escape, and I fire it up with like a quick filter or whatnot, and I have bio balls in my sump. So I'm literally out of bio balls now because every time I quarantine, I never put it back. I dry it out. So I think I have one more round of quarantine left before I have to get more bio balls.
You just got to clean your old ones somehow and put them back in service.
I usually throw them away.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I look in the sump and I have none left. So I have one more round of quarantine left. So I have to save that for like a prized fish.
Yep. You're cut off for a while now.
I've never quarantined, but I would never talk anybody out of it if that's how they feel comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know I'm not going to talk anybody. I've seen enough people do.
It is wise to quarantine. It is wise, especially if you have a tank with a lot of expensive, fancy, nice fish in it that you wouldn't want to lose. It is wise to.
Now, I feel if you quarantine and medicate before you see a problem, I have a problem with that. If you're throwing a fish, just fish into poison, basically.
Yeah, exactly. To me, like medicating for no reason is a bit of a stretch. I mean, if you have a fish in a quarantine tank for a few weeks and you see something come up and maybe it's an issue, then medicate. But I mean, medicating for preventive, I don't know. To me, I feel like you're stressing out the fish more than is needed. So, personal opinion, my politically correct opinion is you should always quarantine.
It's like preventative chemotherapy, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
When you say that, you make it sound so horrible now. Like I'm gonna actually, because my mom has had chemo in her life, and I've seen now you're gonna every time I have to do tank transfer now. You're gonna, Dave. That now is embedded in my mind, like preventative chemotherapy. No, it's not. It's just that now you've given me the image of what I'm actually doing now. That if I get ick, Dave, I'm blaming it on you. If I put a fish in and I get ick, I'm coming to find you. But the fact that
is that medication, or is that just keeping the
fish?
No,
it's not. It's no medication. It's just literally trying to outdo the ick life cycle by changing, water every couple days. That's what that is. I don't medicate after.
It's got to be a little stressful, but I wouldn't call that
stressful.
Chemo.
Yeah,
I'm talking about it's stressful with copper just because you don't want ick. That's
no. There is no. It's stressful. I know it's stressful. Okay, you're changing them. You're putting them in a new, and you have to catch them and net them every couple days.
Even netting the fish is very stressful to the fish, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's running for its life because it doesn't want to be trapped, and you're doing it like every time you do. That's a lot of stress. The more stress, the weaker their immune system, right? So that's kind of my big thing. Like, if I was to quarantine, I would have another tank when I buy it, throw it in there, leave it in there for like a couple months, whatever the 72 days is technically, I think, what the life cycle is. And after that period, if there's no issues, put it in. I'd pretty much consider it safe. Like, I wouldn't medicate or do any of that stuff unless I saw an issue. That's personally, right? That's what I would do.
Every fish I've ever lost, and this is not a joke, like every fish I've ever lost during the tank transfer method, I've lost them on the last transfer.
Wow.
Really?
Yes. It doesn't matter if it's
How
a
many
pro
times
miss.
do you transfer them back and forth?
I've probably every fish in my tank now, with the exception of 2, went through tank transfer, and I've probably lost, probably a good amount of fish. I don't have a number, but I can tell you that I know because my wife keeps a log and she blames me. She's like, "You killed it on the last transfer every time."
Now, if this happens a lot of times, because you said a considerable number of fish, does that make you think that it's maybe not the best plan?
But I've also never had ick, so I listen.
Oh yeah, but your fish died.
Survive. I will not have any non-Spartan fish in my tank.
I'm gonna turn off. I'm gonna hide in my little shell by turning off my camera for a minute.
It's like Spartan. Those days.
Somebody comes and takes you out of your apartment and then puts you in a room, and then 2 days later they move you to a new room, and then 2 days later they move you to a new room, and.
Jeez, you'd think you were ISIS if you went through all that.
Right.
But I'm also looking at it and be like, I've never had ick. I see what you guys are saying. I really do see what you guys are saying.
Yep.
I don't. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'm going to quarantine because after going to Worldwide Corals and my wife seeing Casper and the other fish in the back, she's like, we need prized fish. So I think prized fish is something we're going to possibly have or try to get. Because every time my wife goes to these Reef-a-Palooza or somewhere and she sees like these nice expensive fish, she's like, I'm not buying that. But after going to Worldwide Corals and seeing Casper in his environment and finding out how much of a celebrity he is and everyone loves Casper, and she saw the live stream where everyone was asking about Casper, she's now like open to the idea of having like rare prized fish. So there's no way I'm not quarantining that.
I would like a $1,000 Lenardi wrasp, but I wouldn't pay that.
If I had a gem tang, I might rethink the whole quarantine thing.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, it's technically a risk. It's just how much mitigation do you consider reasonable, and can you actually do in your place, right?
Right.
Hey,
yeah.
I can tell you that if you're buying fish from live aquaria, those fish have already been medicated in formalin and are sitting in copper. That they're medicated from the get-go.
Right.
And the reason why is because they're coming from Quality Marine, and I know that's their process.
I can get that in writing from them.
I'm sure Quality Marine will tell you what their process is when new fish come in. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, call them and ask them.
But
so
what
you're
I'm
telling
saying is
me
live aquaria fish, not diver's den, live aquaria fish come from Quality Marine.
So you're telling me I possibly could have been tank transfer method in these fish for years for nothing? Is that what you? I think I'm gonna turn off my camera. I'm gonna turn off my camera for the rest of the stream.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is they have been medicated, and is in my experience with fish from a wholesaler, as long as you bring them up salinity wise very slowly, you can be pretty successful with the fish. I mean, they're coming, when they get to you, they're in salinity of 7.017 and or 1.8. So you can, I mean, as long as you bring them up really slow in their salinity, you should have pretty darn good success with them.
The other side of the coin is that water's very polluted when you get them too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But like the big thing for me, if you know a store quarantines their fish ahead of time, that basically to me says, okay, there's like 80% of the risk already taken away from me. Yeah. Like, unfortunately, with the LFS closed down, that used to do that. I used to buy from, but he would take the fish home and quarantine them at home for 3 or 4 weeks before he bring them to the store. So I mean, they've already went through a huge quarantine process before they're even in this place. I mean, that was a huge confidence boost for me. A good chunk of them.
Right.
You know what I've also seen Manhattan aquariums do, and I don't know how much it costs or what they pay for it, but I have seen them quarantine. I don't know what kind of fee you pay for it, but if I've seen someone get inexpensive fish, like what do you call those tangs that are black? Not the gem tang.
Black tang.
Black tang. No, it's shaped. It has the body
like yellow
shape.
tang, but it's
of a yellow tang.
No, it's shaped like a powder blue.
Oh,
Has the
okay.
body shape of a powder blue that is
Achilles?
black. Achilles.
Yeah.
Yes. So I've seen them quarantine. So I think they got it in for someone, and the person paid extra for, I guess, the LFS to take on the risk of like quarantining it. So
Sometimes it's worth it, you know.
I would.
Or if you buy a fish and it comes with the storage, say, okay, hey, hold this fish for me. I'll pick it up in 2 weeks or something, right?
Exactly. My LFS does that for me.
Most will, right? Especially, or just say, give them a deposit or whatever. But most will hold it for you. Then they're taking the risk and quarantining, not you.
They want 50% of the fish, and they'll hold it for 2 weeks. And if anything happens to that fish, hell, I've even gone in a week later and said, you know what, I don't want that, and I could put my 50% towards something else.
Yep.
And
I
that
think
also saves you from buying a fish before you've researched that fish, too. Because while they're holding it, then you can go home and say, oh, yeah, I really shouldn't have this. You know, I have a lightning wrasse. I found out after I bought them that they get over a foot long. So...
what wrasse was that one? That's
it's yellow with a blue stripe on the top.
Forest wrasse?
No, it's not even one of those. I know what it is, but yeah, they get big.
Yeah.
Hey,
yellow, blue.
Sorry, side question. Does anyone use any of the YouTube video downloader programs? Yes. So what's the best one or website?
You mean to download a video from YouTube?
Yeah, I think you literally can search YouTube downloader. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there is. Most of them only give you 720p unless you pay for it. I guess that's good enough, though.
Yeah, I don't think I was just gonna say that you won't get the high quality stuff is usually behind a paywall.
Yeah, whatever. That's fine. 720 is good. Sorry, I'm trying to get material for a presentation. I'm trying to figure out ASAP.
Right. I use one on my phone, but it takes the audio from your speaker and then back into the mic. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It records the whole room. You can hear yourself breathing.
Yeah.
Diacanthus Reef said he brings the quarantine's display tank to the display tank's pH, salinity, and temperature. He does the same thing when acclimating. I always see someone says they try to match pH. Like, is it just a thing where if you're drip acclimating, it eventually equalizes? But I don't know how someone... I've seen a few people mention that, hey, when they're doing salt, when they're changing water, they also try to match pH. Like, how would you control pH in that regard?
I think more or less, if you hit the alkalinity, you pretty much hit the
pH. Okay, that's what I thought.
Just slowly drip or mix the water. I take a little cup, mix it in, wait 10 minutes, do it again. Do that a few times.
If I can double the water, say it's a cup of water that the fish is in, I know it's more than that, and turn it into 3 cups of water. Like, that's how I do mollies from freshwater to saltwater. So I kind of, what was that, tripling the water?
Click Clack said he's not going to quarantine my blotched Antheus. So I am going to call Live Aquaria the next time I'm going to buy fish. I'm going to inquire. I was just typing down a note what Greg said, and I'm going to ask.
Hold on. Live Aquaria may not tell you they're coming from Quality Marine.
Right.
So I probably need to call Quality Marine directly.
Just ask what is their process for incoming fish, for medicating incoming fish. I mean, I haven't been to Quality Marine in a couple of years, but every fish got medicated prior to hitting their fish system. And same thing with sea-dwelling creatures, which is another, big wholesaler.
I imagine if you don't medicate, then you can get wiped out, right?
Well, it's the scale of the wipeout.
Yeah, I imagine.
I mean, this is a wholesaler with thousands of fish. I mean, yeah, they don't want to take those unnecessary risks. So typically it's formalin, I believe, and then from there is copper in the system. So they'll just always be mindful of that. And so typically the fish are pretty clean. You rarely will see a fish with obvious. I mean, occasionally you'll see a fluke, but that's about it. I've never seen ick on a fish at a wholesaler at all.
All right, so basically, I've been quarantining for maybe nothing.
No, it's not for nothing. You've been doing tank. You may have been doing tank transfer for nothing, but quarantining, just putting them in another tank and letting them sit there for a while to observe them is probably your safest method. But the tank transfer or medicating them, that's stressful.
I mean,
Stress just thinking about it.
It depends where you get them from. I told you the story about I was in Petco and I saw a yellow tang with ick and a cleaner shrimp on him.
Yeah.
I think I got you, buddy.
Yep. I thought it was a symbiotic relationship. You have to buy them as a pair.
Hey, yo, do you have any cool, creative, unconventional Apex tricks?
If I have any cool, creative, unconventional Apex tricks.
Yeah, what do you got?
We need business to get in here too.
Oh, off the top of my head, if I had one piece of advice, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have the piece of advice is please make sure fallback mode for every single outlet and device is programmed the way you want it, because that's what almost killed me last time. So if somehow something goes wrong, that is the one at this point in time. I think that is the one piece of advice I would tell everyone who's running an Apex to kind of pay attention to. Just make sure fallback is what you want, and redundancy. I mean, you're going to have the same thing, redundancy. Like, I'm no longer having Apex control my power heads and controlling everything and running everything. So I have a reef link that controls my pumps. They're on different plugs. So let's say something happens and my tank outlet trips. My plugs aren't plumbed into that outlet, so they don't go down either. So one side of the apartment can go down and the other side. So little things like that I've just been mindful of since the last time. So
gonna level with you quickly. I'm a little bit just trying to get more ideas because I'm doing a talk for the Apex meetup. So I got to figure out a presentation because I got to do it in 2 weeks. So I'm just trying to think of other good stuff to add in. So
Biz, I don't know if Biz isn't jumping here, but he can probably give you some great ideas.
I haven't seen
anything, Greg. He was in the chat earlier,
but I haven't seen.
I will tell you if one piece of advice is don't tell them about anything that can be done outside of the Apex architecture.
Why?
They make I had a friend who talked at the Apex meetup, and he taught everybody that if you cut a DIN cable in half, you have 2 breakout boxes. Well,
I've made one before.
Well, don't bring that up at that meeting.
Really? I thought it was all about that kind of stuff.
Well, I can tell you that my friend was supposed to be, his reward for doing the talk was going to be a full Apex system.
What? I don't have any rewards. What the heck? Okay. Hey, sorry, carry on.
That was basically his compensation.
Yeah.
Oh, did he not get it?
I got no rewards.
No.
What the heck?
Heck no. But if you're not getting anything,
fair game.
Hey, but you may not get Terrence on your show anymore either.
Oh, he'll come on. He likes to come on and be a peanut gallery and stir things up.
He does.
He won't come on, but he'll comment.
Probably.
Yeah.
He'll comment. He will comment.
Terrence, I like Terrence.
I'm going to ask him, is there anything that's off limits for the talk?
Ask him those kind of things specifically, because what it is it doesn't look good that you can buy a breakout box for one price, or you can buy a $4 DIN cable and have 2 breakout boxes. That just wasn't a good look. And
I mean, like I have an Avast Marine one. You can build them with a cable. Like I can hack and make your own dose optical sensors. Like I'm trying to figure out like what's good to tell.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing when you start doing those kinds of things, they already make those products. So you don't want to teach people to work outside of the products that are already offered by them.
Like money out their pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like another example is Vectra and Apex don't talk to each other. So I'm using power monitoring to monitor when I put the pump in feed mode, so then Apex can do its thing, right? Like it's little things like that, which I think.
Oh, that's fine. You could just let the companies blame each other, like they've been doing for years anyway. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're good on that regard.
Yeah,
I could joke. I don't have a relationship. I don't have a talk to do. So I know you're looking for ideas there, but I think that one would be. I think that's fine because one way to get around it. I think that's fine. And by the way, that was when you told me that, I actually did that, and that was actually a nice workaround to actually do it, where you just put your and then EcoSmart also had Alexa control a long time ago. So you just told EcoSmart, "Hey, put my tank into feed mode." It would detect when. When everything went down to power dropped on the pump, it put everything else in feed mode, which, to be honest, that's something I would program anyway. Like, hey, when you detect like a drop in wattage on this pump, turn off my skimmer for a few minutes before you try. So I think that's a good one, by the way.
Yeah, that one I'm definitely adding in.
And you don't have to make it about a Vectra. You can just make it about any pump.
I'll say Vectra. I don't care. I like my Vectras. I don't care.
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm probably gonna be cheering in the back.
Cheer me on, buddy. Cheer me on. I'm slightly, a little bit like, I don't know if I'm nervous a little or intimidated. I don't know. I've never done a talk in front of like hundreds of people, so it'll be interesting. I just gotta.
If it's too loud, let me know, and I'll mute myself back.
Oh, you're good. I just gotta.
Don't worry. We'll have signs in the back for moral support. Like just let me know what you wanted to say, and I'll hold them up.
Nice.
Hey, Dev, real quick, not to cut you off. Do y'all know what a garfish is?
Gar?
A garfish.
No, not
alligator gar.
Yeah, you have
freshwater fish.
Yeah, big mouth.
I'm looking at one right now that's about 6.5 feet long.
Oh, those guys. That's
Louisiana.
That's a weird looking fish.
Yeah.
Huh, I've never seen those.
I'm looking at a school of them right now hovering alongside this dock, and there's one, he's 6-7 feet long.
Wow. I'm Google imaging it. They're crazy looking.
The first thing that comes up is garfish recipe.
That's Louisiana cooking right there.
Gar balls.
Crazy.
Combine olive oil, lime juice, thyme, and a generous amount of pepper in a shallow, non-metallic dish.
Generous.
Cooking with O.
It said real Cajun garfish. You know what, Jeeves? We're going to talk offline about that garfish because I'm right in.
Oh, I can cook you some if you ever come down here.
Garfish.
I remember when I was paying like, I don't know, $7 for one when I had freshwater tanks, and my mom said her brother used to catch them when they were growing up in Louisiana.
Nice.
Catch them for free.
1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. I don't know, a dozen or so here. Wow. One of them's got something in his mouth he's swimming around with. Looks like a small fish. I don't know where that big one went. He went down.
But they would eat things that were so big that their stomach would get like translucent. You could actually see the fish in it.
Hey, Dev, Reef Keeper has a, he says, show how to program an IP camera into Fusion so you can view the tank live. I think I've tried to get that to work a couple of times and I gave up.
I don't have any extra ones to try that. I mean, I have one in my driveway. I can just add in there for fun to show it, I guess. But
well, before you leave, take it out of your driveway and point it at the tank.
Yeah, I got to unscrew from the roof. That is on my to-do list. I do want to get a little I want a little pan tilt one so I can mount it in my stand so I can zoom around and make sure everything's working as intended.
Yep.
You know what? I think we spoke about it the other day, but I think every time someone tells me about like their Apex, like I'm just thinking about just the couple people I've had on the, you know, on Wednesdays, like Jeff Daily Reefing, like what he does, like I learned something. Biz, what Biz was doing. When I talk to you, I sometimes it's just you just learn that one thing and you combine it with something else that you're doing. Like that whole detecting the power drop.
Yep.
Yeah, like I think when you leave a talk and you get a few of these nuggets, I think it's worth it. So I think that power drop thing was that was huge for me. Like I used it in so many other ways. So
you can do it for every piece of equipment and set up alarms, all kinds of stuff. Like I'm definitely going to talk about that a bit because that's something that most people probably aren't taking advantage of.
Yeah, my skimmer is very sensitive to water levels, so I can tell. I have an optical sensor that, or I know that my sump is filling up when my optical sensor on my ATO gets above water. I want to turn off the skimmer for a few minutes to make sure. So little things like that. I know we're going down a, you know, but yeah, like little
the
things like that.
second sensor, that's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, you can use those optical sensors for a lot of things. Yeah.
But like, yeah, even if like my ozone, for instance, if the ORP is too high, turn it off. If the skimmer's off, turn off the ozone because that's the reactor. Like all these little things, right?
Yeah. Yeah, when you have a bunch of things that's triggered in line, if this is this, like for instance, when I'm programming my chiller, I just have the chiller pump type. Like I don't control the chiller pump individually. I just tell the chiller like, hey, there's no reason for you to ever be on if the chiller pump isn't on. So just, you know, have it, the chiller should never be on without the pump being on. So I don't have any programming for the chiller, but the pump, it just follows whatever the pump does.
Yeah.
Little things like that. Yeah.
It's stuff that I do, but it's hard to think of it.
Oh, and back up your code. Because when my Apex did fail, and I then had, I think that's another thing. Like when my Apex failed a couple months ago, I had to redo everything from scratch. So I don't know. I know with the old Apex, you could back up everything into a dump file. I don't know if you could do it with the 2016, but I think at least once every couple of months, you should back up. Because the fact that I had to reprogram everything from scratch, I didn't even remember I was looking at some of my code and I didn't remember what the heck it did or, you know.
No, that's a good one. Like I had one, for instance, I was thinking I can do for a DIY product, but now you're making me second guess it because it's totally something that makes overly priced Apex module like pointless.
And I'll be in the back there. So if you ever want to point to me and say, hey, he knows what you're talking about because his Apex failed, like I'll hold up the sign and say, yeah, that's me. So
I don't think Tara's going to want to hear that there was a guy there with his Apex that failed.
Hey, actually,
but
my Apex did bugger up time. It did bugger up once. And you know what it was? One of my freaking USB-A cables, Aquabus cables, fell into my salt water and bridged the connection. My whole Apex was buggered. It was like unresponsive until I plugged that cable. So that is one thing that can kill your Apex.
Yep. But you gotta preface that with a good story that when I called them, they sent me out an Apex. I mean, they did authorize my credit card, but they did send me out an Apex. So I didn't have to wait to take this one off the tank, send it to them, wait for them to fix it and send it back to me. So when I gave them a credit card, they sent me out a unit for me to use. So I had an Apex up and running within a couple of days. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yep.
Okay, I have another random question. Is there anything off the top of your head for anything I've done a video on that you thought was like good or useful that would be good to add in? Is there anything that was like, oh, that was like a really cool something? It's so hard to think of stuff now. Like,
the one I use all the time is the drilling the Voss containers.
I'm definitely putting that one in.
I also, because I'm doing Triton and I'm dosing all three chemicals at the same. I have an optical sensor in one that monitors when it's low. So I don't need 4 optical sensors in all of them. It's a little tough to keep it because it's a bottle. But if you have like a square container, you don't need optical sensors for all 3. You just need
one.
For one. I also have it in my ATO to tell me when my ATO is like a third. alerts me when a third. So
I got one in mine too. I can add that in because I just made a little mount to put an optical sensor beside the bottom of the little P mount thing.
Yep. So I think those are two that I use all the time. The Voss bottles, and then let me think. The flow stuff, I took all the flow sensors off, so I don't have any tips there.
I question the need of those personally.
Yeah,
like they're kind of fun, but do you need it?
I just use the ports for the optical sensors. I don't need them for the one I had, it literally stopped working like a couple days ago. So I know it sounds like we're bitching about Apex, but I think that's that's off the top of my head what I have. The dosing container and the optical sensors one. Yeah.
As a non-Apex person, the things I'm interested in, if I ever got one, is like doing feed mode. When you do your feed mode, to automatically, turn off your wave makers, turn off your pump, shut off your skimmer. So for you, it would be shut off your ozone, feed, wait 10 minutes, and then in order, turn your wave makers on, then maybe 5 minutes so it'll move food around the tank a little bit. Then turn your pump back on 5 minutes, let your water level stabilize, then turn your skimmer on, wait another minute or two, then turn your ozone back on.
Yeah.
I gotta disagree with that. Why would you want to turn all those pieces off? The hardest thing on an electrical motor is turning it on and off.
I always turn
mode. If you wanted to do that.
DC, I don't think cares as much, to be honest.
DC, correct, it does not. But a lot of this stuff, a lot of skimmers are AC. DCs have soft start, so yeah. But
I don't.
For my skimmer,
AC anymore. It's all gone.
Yeah, for my skimmer, I used to turn it. I turned my DC skimmer off for feed mode because it overflows. It's very sensitive in that regard. But when I was using my Omega 150, it wasn't as sensitive to like feed mode. So I didn't have to turn it off. But for some skimmers, they can be finicky like that. So you know what I've done, Deb? So I use all four feed modes on my Apex, and D is my water change feed mode. That gives me about, I think, 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then I also have an alarm that's plugged into my Apex. So even when feed mode is ending, it gives me 15 minutes off like an audible alarm, because there's been times before where I've been watching football. I started water change and Liverpool playing, and I just didn't finish the water change within 3 hours, whatever I'm doing. Like let's not get into that. But then it plays. I have like a little beeper, just a little speaker that when you power to it, it alarms. But at least it lets me know that, hey, your water change thing is going to end in 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So if you're not finished yet, you better go turn everything off or go reset it, or you better finish up. So because there's been times where I haven't finished the water change and stuff started coming on.
Yeah.
And I made a mess. So I don't know if that's a tip you'll use, or maybe it's just I'm just trying to program for my carelessness.
I don't even use the feed modes on mine. Because I have stuff daisy chained, right? So I tell Alexa to turn on feed mode for the Ecotech pump. That goes into feed mode. The Apex says, okay, you're in feed mode. Turn this pump off. Turn off your skimmer. Does everything else because the return pump's in feed mode. So I don't actually even touch that stuff. I mean, I can do it now because now Apex can do voice controls. So I can do stuff that way. But I have it all based just off my return pump dropping below 15 watts. Triggers the rest of the stuff.
I use feed mode for when I'm feeding like coral foods. You have the return pump going to like where it's barely trickling over the overflow. Yeah. I do it for exactly what I just said, because I'll forget. Like I'll just be doing something and the kids, and I just forget that I'm doing a water change. And it's sports season. Like I'll just forget, start watching football or something, and forget. And then, like when you're feeding reef roids or something, you don't want that to go down the overflow. And also my wife likes to she likes to touch the feed mode button when she's feeding. So I literally just take the food out of the freezer and throw it in the tank when I'm feeding most times.
I put on feed mode, same thing, just so stuff doesn't go down my overflow, right? So stay in the tank for that 30 minutes or whatever to get eaten up. That one I definitely do. And then when I do a water change, I don't even turn off the pump. I just dump 5 gallons in my sump, and then I don't know if that's something I should say.
Yeah. I think sometimes we overcomplicate this, honestly. I know. Greg's do you use an Apex, Greg?
They're at my current 25-gallon. There is no control at all on it. So I don't turn anything off when I feed. On the new build, there will be an Apex on it, yes.
Oh, no GHL?
No. I have an Apex already, so that's why no GHL.
Oh, okay. I thought there was going to be a joke there somewhere, but all right.
Well, the GHL wouldn't be a GHL because I have a Mac.
Oh. All right.
And I will not buy a cheap PC to program it.
Man, I'm going to turn my camera off again. I feel like that was a personal shot at me again.
No, it wasn't.
Put that camera back on.
You know what? I'm going to have hopefully that's one of the, I really want to talk to Roger at Tunes, and I want to talk to GHL. Not that I don't want to see the other people, but I feel like I see them at Reefapalooza or opportunities every time. I think Tunzi doesn't go out to a lot of shows, so I'm anxious to talk to Roger. And GHL, because I didn't get a chance. They were at Reefapalooza, New York, and I didn't get a chance to go over and talk to them in depth. I like the hardware. It's just the software. So I think those two companies I definitely want to talk to. Not even interview, not video anything, just talk to them because, I like Tunes. I like Roger. Never met him, just somebody I want to meet. And GHL, I think I just want to talk to them about, just letting them know from a user, I'm not happy with the setup process, the hardware's work. Just, Ash is saying since Apex got so much advance over the years, he's been using it since 2012. Never heard that it can monitor power. That's the new one, can monitor power, not the old one.
The newer.
Yeah, the 2016. Yeah, you can monitor power usage, watts, voltage, whatever you want. Yeah, it does. He's saying, power leakage, can it be programmed to work as a GCFI outlet? No, I don't think so.
I can probably get creative.
You know what? I will tell you something though, Dev. I don't know if this helped you, but in New York, when our usage is really high, and I'm using fancy word that my friend told me, so I might not be saying it, but apparently there are times when the voltage or the power coming into your house drops. Because everyone is drawing, the Apex notifies you of that. I get a red. I can send you a picture, Dev, if it'll help.
That might be cool.
You get a red error message and it tells you. So I don't know if that helps what Ash is saying, but it does notice that, hey, you used to draw maybe 20 amps from the wall, and now it's only 18 or 17, and it does tell you that there's a drop.
Yeah. Volts.
He's saying power leak. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think he's talking about stray voltage in the tank. There's no built-in module to do that. I was just thinking in my head I could probably build one, but I haven't done it.
That'd actually be a really good idea, I think.
Well, you could do...
You just put an ammeter on a ground line, right?
Yeah, I was thinking that you could do it with a little circuit to monitor it and close a relay or something to flick a switch on the Apex to do something along those lines.
So to answer your earlier question, Greg, that's why I would do that with the Apex, just to keep a skimmer from overflowing. Now the skimmer I was running on my 75, it wouldn't matter. because it's one of the jet
Gotcha.
skimmers and it sits above it. So you're using a gate valve to control water level anyway.
Okay.
But like my brother's, his 75, he dosed fuel, put it in feed mode or something, or didn't put it in feed mode, dosed fuel, cut the return pump, and he noticed it was overflowing when there were bubbles coming out of the front of the cabinet. It had literally foamed and just made this big foam cloud all over the bottom of his, cabinet.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never turned my stuff off. I think the animals are pretty well adapted to catching food out of the water. Yeah. And I typically don't run socks or any type of filtration that, removes, detritus or food out of the water. So it just gets recirculated right back into the tank anyway.
Wait. You don't run filter socks?
I have not in over a decade.
Ooh, I don't run filter socks either, but then would you vacuum? How often do you say you have to go in and vacuum detritus?
In my old SPS system, it was very apparent that it was very rare. In the overflow is the only place I really had detritus, though. The sump itself, I didn't really have detritus in there very often.
Where did it go?
Well, you'd probably kill me if I told you this, but it went back into the tank because I put a Tunzi down in there to stir up everything and pump it right back into the tank.
So doesn't that go against, so you basically put enough flow through it and also added a power head down there where you didn't allow anything to settle. It just kept recycling. So
no. Just that would be my maintenance. Would be it wouldn't be a continual thing. Although I have friends that have done that, wouldn't be a continual thing. Maybe once a month or whatnot, I'd blow it back into the tank. It's kind of the same effect that you have with Zeovit when you shake the rocks and the mulm goes into the tank and the corals open up and feed. Yeah. It's the same thing.
Marine snow.
Yeah, the corals loved it.
So what? Whoa.
So it goes against everything.
It doesn't though, because that's food for the corals. Like it makes sense. You don't have that pristine, super clear fish floating in the air or water. I mean, that's the trade-off, right? Corals.
Yeah. Well, no. You have it during the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Just when you blow everything off.
Yeah.
Because it settles. It settles out of the water column.
Yeah, fair.
Mine settles in the first. Mine settles in the first chamber, and then when you're taking out I think I've modified my sump to whenever I'm entering Chato, I have to make sure I don't shake it too much or I create a dust storm.
Right.
But it settles in the first chamber mostly, and then I kind of vacuum it out every couple months. I think that's the process. But I just hated changing some socks every couple of days. It was just a pain to change them and clean them.
See, my next big system, I don't mind changing the socks if I had one of the prefab sumps that has the tray where you're not having to fight, a tube out of the sock or whatever.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Or you can get a roller mat.
Nah.
I'm gonna get one of those. I've been debating it. So part of me,
that's kind of the big one right there is those roller mats. Those are awesome.
Yeah, part of me questions if it will be too clean in the water. I'm probably gonna have to feed more. I don't know, or do a longer feed mode so more stuff eats it. I don't know. I'm still debating this, but I keep debating one. I probably will do one, but
it definitely pulls almost everything out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because the good thing about those things is the stuff doesn't even have time to continually break down like it would if you had a sock in there.
I think you might even get more benefit than like a protein skimmer to a certain extent.
Absolutely.
Right?
I think they're pretty close.
Yeah.
I think the parallels can definitely be made. I mean, that cloth turns brown, from anything that's in the water.
Yeah.
So it's really catching a lot.
Yeah. No, exactly. So I think I'm gonna go for one. I just hope it doesn't make it too clean. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you'd be fine. Now, I mean, if you do something like that, then I understand why you would use a feed mode. But see, I guess I don't use any type of mechanical filtration other than a protein skimmer. So,
So do you notice many particles in your water blasting around stuff? Not really. That's always what I've wondered, right? Because I like my crystal clear, pristine water, and I wonder if I took out a sock and everything. But I mean, the easy thing is you could always just take it off. But,
yeah.
Do you see it? You go ahead, Greg. You finish up.
Oh, no. I think there's also the fact that I don't run a lot of flow through the sump. My personal belief is whatever the skimmer can process, that's how much you should match the flow to that. And there's really anything more than that is a waste. It just adds noise. And you're burning more electricity to do it that way. So if my protein skimmer can process 1,000 gallons per hour of water plus whatever the air is, that's about the amount of flow that I want going through the sump. And I don't see a need for anything more than that.
Yeah.
Well, what about, so this is just a thought, me being a little less experienced than y'all, for the sake of your nitrogen process. I mean, if you have a lot of biomedia in there, moving more water for that ammonia removal and nitrate, your nitrogen cycle breakdown, basically. You just feel like it's wasted. If you're moving more than the skimmer.
I mean, I think the amounts of turnover that we have in an aquarium a lot of times is unnecessary as far as the main filtration, what's going through the sump is concerned. I just don't see an advantage to it. I mean, if you turn the tank over 4 times an hour, what really can happen in 15 minutes?
Right.
It's still all going through the filter. So when you start running it, 20 times flow going through your sump, I mean, I just don't see a need for it. I think it's a waste of energy. I can get by better with using a propeller pump inside the sump or a gyre or something like that for my in-tank flow. But it just I don't want to hear the noise of the water crashing and having to deal with a lot of flow. My 225 had about 600 gallons per hour.
Okay. How much flow are you running through your tank now? Well, first, Dev, what I want to say is I'm not using filter socks now, and to be honest, like I don't see a big difference in particulates floating. I think it just settles out in the sump. So,
yeah.
How much flow are you running through your sump now? You think you're using a Vector, right? What are you running it at full throttle?
Who's that question for?
Yeah, for you.
That's for you, Dev.
Oh, I thought it was. Sorry, I'm multitasking. No, it's at 60% right now.
Oh, you're not running much. And you have like 120, 140, right?
Yeah. Oh, I emailed about my new tank today. Hopefully soon. Ooh, thank you. Ooh, gifts.
That's nice.
I know. What a loving wife. What was I going to say? So it's at 60%.
Size of the tank?
Oh, size of the tank. Yeah, it's a little over 100 for the display, plus, I don't know, 30, 40 gallon sump, whatever it is.
Right, so,
maybe more.
I'm actually probably running mine higher than yours, and I have a smaller tank then.
There you go. Does it need to be super crazy high I don't know. I don't think you need a ton of flow in your sump. Like, what's the benefit of it? Like, slower flow is more dwell time with your refugium, with your skimmer, gives it more time to process those nutrients. So, I don't know. I think flow in your tank, yes, but I don't think you need crazy flow through your sump. That being said, on the new build, I'm putting dual return pumps in the sump. So I'll probably run them both at like 40% or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's for redundancy, though. That's always a good thing.
This cracks me up. Actually, I should add this to my notes to put in my talk. Perfect example the other day. My buddy was dual. 1 second. Return pumps. I'm just making notes for myself for slide ideas. So he came over the other day and he's like, "Man, my return pump died." Blah blah blah. Because I told him I was going to do dual return pumps, and he's like, "Oh, what a waste of money. That's stupid." Blah blah blah. And then 2 weeks later, he's like, "My return pump died. Can I borrow your extra one?" I'm like, "Fine." And he come over and goes, 2 weeks ago I thought that was a stupid idea. No, I think it's brilliant. I said, "Add a second pump, your tank would have missed a beat." So it just goes to show that redundancy does pay off. It's not likely, but there's something could happen. If you're out of town, it dies. I mean, your tank will still be fine with one pump.
Hey, I got an extra controller head sitting here, so obviously, I think with me traveling, especially, I think redundancy. Like, you're never gonna get me. Like, I do not want to do 2 weeks without a controller again and then reprogram it. So I learned my lesson once. Not gonna happen again.
Yes. Oh, you're a Mac guy. Question. What is the PowerPoint for Mac called? Keynote.
Keynote.
Can it autoplay videos on a slide?
Yes, I think so. If you have them, but you need to have them they work best when you're using them in the Mac format.
So the export as a MOV?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to chop up a couple of videos of like hiding my auto feed in the sump to like a 1 minute clip, and I'm going to throw it on a slide so you can do the little demo and then I can talk about it.
Double check everything first. If you want me, or if you want, just double check everything first. You're bringing a Mac?
No, Terrence has a MacBook. That's why, and I have an iMac over there that the wife uses. So I'm going to do the presentation on there.
So test it on the iMac and then send it to Terrence directly.
Yeah,
and you should be fine. Yeah, I think you do space and then space again to place the video. The last time I did a presentation, so just like how you would advance animation on a slide, when you get to the slide, you hit the space button one more time to play the video.
I wonder if I can make it autoplay though. Now we'll see.
Pretty sure. Listen, Keynote is that. Yeah, you probably can.
All right, I'll figure it out.
You probably can.
I think I might mix in the odd little video clip, like 30-second clips and stuff, just to, I don't know, be fun.
Click said he's ordering a backup skins return. Most quiet pump ever. I think, if I'm not mistaken,
Quieter than my Vectra?
I think skims are just really like Jabo pumps. So I really think you can seriously just buy a Jabo pump.
Jabos are still pretty quiet. I mean, I ran a Jabo before, and it was pretty quiet. Most people wouldn't notice the noise unless you're like sensitive to noises.
I'm half deaf, so we're good on
that
front.
Yeah, you're solid.
Yeah.
I work around loud stuff all day.
I will like fixate on it, and it'll bug me.
Oh, no.
That was the whole reason I bought a Vectra. My wife couldn't hear it. She wouldn't even notice it. And like, you wouldn't even notice, but it was this high pitch, like a turbine-y sound, and most people wouldn't even notice it. But once I actually noticed it, I couldn't like not hear it.
There's certain things that annoyed me. The XR30s, the fan being on all the time, annoyed the heck out of me.
That's when you XR15s.
Yeah, I don't know if people know this, but when you're buying like XR30s, the Gen 4, on the Gen 3, the fan runs all the time, even when the lights are off. And on
it runs on the Gen 4 also.
On the Gen 4, sorry, I meant Gen 4. It runs all the time. And when the XR15, it only runs when needed.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah. I keep telling people XR15s are the way to go. Unless you have a super deep tank, XR15s.
What do you Greg, what is the dimensions of that Casper tank again?
Big.
64 by 40 by 27.
So Casper's tank at Worldwide Corals is 60. You heard the dimensions.
That's the one by the door or the one in the back area?
One by the door. They're running 4 XR15s over that, and the things are like 2 feet above the tank.
Yeah. I got 4 on mine.
Yeah. And it's so, I mean, when people say like it needs to be. I mean, what I'm saying is, it doesn't. When we say deep tank, we're usually thinking about like super deep. Like I would consider 27 inches with the lights almost 2 inches above the tank. I would consider that super deep.
Yep. I would say if you're getting 27 to 30, then that's what I would consider a 30 over 15.
They have
like 2 feet or less, 15.
Yeah. I think
I better not even talk about what I'm doing.
What you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah, you piqued your interest. Spill it.
Got 10 XR30s over it.
Considering my 25-gallon has an XR30 on it.
Oh.
Overkill. I like it.
My other tank is almost the same size as Casper's. It's 62 by 36 by 27, and it'll have 6 XR30s.
6?
Yeah. 2 rows of 3.
Wait. Casper's tank got away with 4. And you're telling me you're doing... Wait, you're not doing 6 XR50s. You're doing 6 XR30s?
XR30s.
I think you're going to be able to burn your hand with lights when you put it in.
Probably.
But now on the flip side, if you have more lights, you basically have a freaking T5 coverage.
Correct.
But you could run them at a lower percentage, which means your lights last longer.
Yep.
You have better spread. They won't heat up, and at least with the 15, the fans would never come on. Like I'm almost considering, I'm on the fence if I keep my frag tank in this up, or if I just put 5 lights on the top of the tank, just because I don't know.
Yep. Less shadowing. I mean, there's so many advantages to it.
Yeah, like you just run them at a lower percentage, and everyone's happy.
You're also doing wall-to-wall SPS anyway, right?
Pretty much.
All right. So, but that's still overkill, though.
It is.
That is still overkill. No which way you cut it, like that is still overkill.
But I probably would have done. I mean, I think 6 is the most fixtures I wanted to deal with.
Did you already buy them?
Wait, you most?
Yeah,
that means there was a consideration for more?
There was consideration of XR15s.
Oh.
I would have been at 8
probably,
or more. I probably would have been at 8. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
Was 8. Yeah. And that's 2 more power supplies I got to deal with.
That's the thing. Excuse me, the annoying power supplies.
Yeah, and that's why I don't like the 15s.
Thank you. You guys are. Thank you for reminding me. That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The power supplies.
Now, are you worried about outlets or power bricks?
The bricks.
Or outlets.
Just dealing. It's just, with all this DC, it was bad enough when we were worried about outlets. And now we're worried about where we put all these power supplies and controllers on products that are DC.
Okay. So one thing that I do, this is actually a really good one. On the top of my tank, I have 4 XR15s. I have 1 plug that splits into 4. So all my power bricks only go to 1 outlet on the apex for all my lights.
Right.
Same with them MP40s. I got a splitter that goes from 1 to 2, so I can plug them both into 1 outlet. So I'm like grouping stuff. So I'm not using all those outlets. That's a good one to add in, I think, actually.
Yeah, see, I won't be running my lights through the apex, so I'll use EcoSmart.
It's pointless for me to do it. But I think that's something that a lot of people don't think about is splitter cables.
Yeah.
Just make sure you don't overload it, right?
Yeah.
The XR30s are 180 watts a piece, so
at 100%.
190.
At 100%.
At 100%.
Yeah.
6 XR30s. Wow.
180, 750 watts.
We're talking, man, your electric bill is going to be what I'm rent money.
Nah, it'll be low.
Oh, but
I'll probably only run them at about 40%.
Yeah. You're good.
Wall-to-wall SP. I mean, Greg, when you're coming this side, you got to bring some frags, man. You're gonna have some nice stuff in that thing.
Woo! I hope so.
6 XR30s.
All right, so let me pick y'all's brains on something else. I picked earlier this week, and you kind of touched on it earlier, Greg. Propeller pump or gyre? I'm looking at that RN1 Nano, like Dev tried out on my 40 breeder I just set up, or a gyre 1K.
I don't have it to me, it just depends on what type of flow you're looking for. I mean, they're two totally different types of flow. So, I mean, do you want that sheet of water that creates that gyre effect, or do you want a smooth dispersed type flow? It really depends on where you're putting it. I believe that it's a good idea to have both types.
Yeah, I got a knockoff gyre in my tank.
That's because I mean, right now
what
I've
knockoff?
got
It's J-Bo one.
Oh,
right now I'm running a PP8 in that 40 for my 75. But the problem is, it's focused flow, so it's blasting my Euphilia pretty hard. Now, eventually, I'm going to move them down a little more because I want to put SPS on top of the rockwork when I get to that point. But I just don't know if I want to do the gyre flow. It seems to work pretty good, for keeping the tank clean, or if that RN1 would be better.
Yeah, I think you should be using a combination of both. They're so different. One's going to give you that flow. I mean, think about it this way. This is the way I like to think about it. If you've ever seen a tank with a gyre, yes, it moves water all across the top, all across the bottom, but things in the center just that's definitely a much lower flow area in the center of that gyre. So
right.
by having the propeller pumps, you add an additional flow through there too, and so forth. But if you don't have room,
well, see, and that's what I'm looking at, because I mean, it's a 40 breeder. It's only 16 tall. So if I get the top and bottom movement, I'll get a lot of movement on the SPS. I'll get a lot of movement on the AKMs and ZOAs and stuff on the bottom, which don't really need a whole lot, but it'll keep the sand bed fairly clean. And then my Euphilia are going to end up, the way I have it laid out, close to an end of the tank anyway. It would be the end of the tank opposite the gyre, so they're going to get that flow where it's bouncing off the glass.
For $120, that RN Nano is pretty hard to beat in a tank that size.
Okay.
And then you could add another one.
You can always add another one on the other side.
That's That's that reverse Nano pump, or which one are you talking about?
Yeah, reverse from Reef Breeders.
They're so flat. Like, I have my two MP40s on one side of the tank, and I'm probably if I think it's going to get to a point where I'm going to need flow on the other side, and if I get the RN1 or the AI pump, you could stick it on the back wall, which my back wall is painted black. You won't be able to see that pump if you put it on the back wall and it's pushing water towards the front. So I like
Did
those.
You say the AI pump?
The AI, I forget what's the name.
Oh, the new one?
Nero 5. See that teal propeller?
It's interesting design.
The details.
But you know what?
In the details, eh?
I'm thinking if I do try one, I'm gonna put it on the back wall of the Nano, kind of behind my rock, so you don't even see the pump. I guess I'm gonna do if I try it.
It should fan out really good because the propeller,
they're very broad,
is around the outside. Mm-hmm. I thought the exact same thing. I have a rock that it would go behind, and it would kind of fan out over this rock. So
one thing that I do like about it, it looks like the cord is very thin, which is good. Opposed to most, because if you have a screen top or anything on your tank, that cord is always a bit of a bugger.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you think we're gonna see? Oh man, now I want to see one. You think that teal propeller is gonna be really noticeable?
Well, the sides are solid, so you won't notice it from the side. I think you'd only notice it looking straight on.
But if it's on your back wall, you will see it if you're looking at it.
Yeah, well, my plan is my tank is right behind me. This is where I work every day, so when I need a break.
How do your corals look?
Not teal.
No. But do your
maybe need more teal corals.
Do your corals look good?
On that side, yeah.
Then no one's gonna see the pump because they won't be looking at it.
Okay, here. Where's screen share? Screen share.
Nobody notices. If your tank looks good, nobody notices that stuff.
Okay, look at the side. The side, you don't even notice it, right?
Yep.
I do like that it is solid. That's less of a risk of fish or critters getting sucked into it. I think that's a good feature. Like the top, it's teal.
Oh, you know what? We need a black propeller. But then how would you know it's working?
Like, I don't know. like if you put on the side of the tank, you're not going to see that propeller, right? Because look at the side.
I'll be
you wouldn't
honest
even
with
notice
you.
it.
My Tunzi propellers are blue.
Do you notice
I don't
it?
notice them. No.
Yeah. I am curious though. I do like that it's pretty fish proof. You don't really have to worry about fish or stuff getting sucked into it. Like I am tempted for the Nano. And the cord looks decently thin, which is nice.
Yeah. The one thing though is $299. I really think that you're putting well, it's not up to me. I hate saying something is high because it's up to what do you see the value, but I really think it puts it in that it puts it for me in that space where I'm like, do I want to get another MP40 or MP10? Like I think it puts
it's close.
Yes, it puts you in that where like
it's too close.
No, I agree.
For $50 more, you get 1,500 more gallons per hour.
Yeah,
actually, I think that would make more flow than the MP10.
If you're putting it on an MP4, if you're putting it
say
on
that again, Dev.
I think it's actually more flow than the MP10, isn't it?
No, it's only 3,000.
What's the MP10?
No. I said an MP40.
MP40
$50 more for an MP40.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
MP40 is only $349.
Yeah, if you're putting it on a bigger tank, like it's not 50 more bucks and you get an MP40, and you get a pump that's tried, true, tested, go through the ringer, the whole wet side.
Here's the question though: if you have an all-in-one and an overflow, and you don't have a spot for that dry side, then it might be an option. Or
exactly.
I haven't seen the size in person, but it looks about the size of the wet side of an MP10, roughly. So that's about the
it's 2.7 inches, and I think the MP10 is 2.5, 2.4.
Yeah, so it's pretty close.
Yeah, it's real close.
Yeah, it's approximately the size of the wet end. So,
can the outside magnet go inside though? Can you?
Yes, I asked already because I was already thinking if I get one, I'm just going to throw it on the back wall of the overflow.
You know what?
Those hidden. So
you know what? That actually makes a difference.
I will try and acquire one at Magna and see if I can do a good review.
However, that has just made me thinking, Dev, that still $300 for those two very specific instances. I just think like I don't know, like I would do it just because it's me, but I don't think most people would.
Yeah,
I gotta say though, the controllability with their app looks pretty trick.
That does look slick.
It does.
One thing that's really sucking for prices on a lot of products right now is that whole tariff tax thing. I know that's messing with a lot of companies and pricing right now.
Okay.
Because most pumps are under the tariff.
Yeah, and I've actually talked to a few people, and it's really screwing with a lot of pricing right now. Because that's upping everyone's costs. And even like one of my buddies today, he was like looking at some e-bike thing. He's like, oh yeah, he goes next month with the next batch, they're going to be $400 more. Like just because of that tariff and stuff. So that's really going to be buggering with a lot of pricing, which sucks.
Here's the big thing though, you know, and this is something I've never liked is that. So say it costs, for instance, $5 more.
Yep.
To bring in the pump, it costs them $5 more. That $5 more ends up being $20 more in the end.
That's because they do $5. The wholesaler adds $5. The store adds $5.
It's like, but why do you need to make another profit off of the tariff? And that's what they're doing. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. But that's what they do.
Well, it's probably all just based off a percentage, is my guess.
Yes, it's all based off of percentage.
Yeah,
and market research and what people are willing to pay. And believe me, if their market research leads them that we're not willing to pay, then guess what?
Yeah, I tell you what though, when those tariffs go away, they're not going to lower the price.
Oh, the prices never get dropped. Prices never get dropped. Prices never get dropped. Never get. When was the last time you saw? Like I've got
German products. German products dropped when the price of the euro went down.
That happens. That happens all the time. Like when Triton in the UK, they went to these bottles. They dropped the price in the UK because they said, "Hey, we're giving you cheaper bottles. We're giving you cartons." they dropped the price by a few bucks. You can actually go into store and get refills, which is way cheaper. Nothing drops for us.
Actually, do you know what happened today? Not this is directly related, but made me happy. The gas station was out of regular and whatever the middle grade gas is. They only had the premium gas. So they're like, oh, yep, you can take the premium gas and they only charge you for the price of regular. I was like, that's a first. Oh, I know. It's like, surprise, here's your 91 octane for the price of 87. Thank you.
Well, you're in Canada. You guys are all nice.
Well, that's the first time I've seen that. I was happy though.
I'm sorry. What were you saying, Greg?
Sorry.
I don't know.
Oh.
Go on.
Oh, we were talking about pricing.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. When the price of the euro dropped, we saw all the German companies lower their prices, and I just noticed recently now that the dollar has fallen to the euro. Boy, did they give us a heck of a raise! Because I remember, let's see, like a Red Dragon 230 was about $12.99. And it's up to almost $1,600 now.
A Red Dragon,
$1,570 or so.
Those are expensive, man. It makes like the vectors and the cores sound cheap.
Oh, I'm getting a Red Dragon.
Oh, you're crazy.
Yeah.
But well, a lot of the people here in Southern California have those. So
I'm also getting a Royal exclusive skimmer.
What? What is right? Crazy.
I'm gonna be one of those posh reefers.
You already are, man.
No. That's you.
What? No.
I'm just an ordinary person. I got Jabo pumps. Yeah, these Red Dragon pumps. But they come with a 10-year warranty. So, right? I think, Greg,
Wait, no. Those don't come with a 10-year warranty.
Of course they do. Don't they?
No, that's the pump they want to be, which is in Abyss.
Oh, the Abyss comes with the 10-year warranty?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, super chat from Chris Fishroom.
What?
$10 for Mr. O's channel. Whoop whoop.
Nice.
Yeah. The Wavemaker fun.
Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it. I'm just doing some research about the whole warranty thing. Maybe I was mistaken.
Yes, Royal Exclusive does not give a 10-year warranty. Maybe a 2.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Ooh.
That doesn't mean it's not going to be reliable.
Ooh. Ooh. Thank you very much. Yeah, $2.99. I almost never say something is too expensive, but I think at $2.99 that pump is in a weird bracket where I understand what you guys are saying, like those nanos, you can submerge the magnet. Like I think it would do great for me, but it's going to be hard for me to ever recommend or say, it's good for a nano all-in-one. Like,
yeah.
I think the pricing is in this weird middle ground where you can if you want it for a bigger tank, you can get an MP40 for a little bit more money that does a lot. And if you want it for a smaller pump, you can get an MP10, which is reliable, been out for years, known technology, all of that.
Well, I can give you a pump that's very similar in flow. And I mean, I think a Tunzi 6095 is somewhere in the neighborhood of $235.
I still have one here.
It doesn't have near the controllability that this new pump from AI has.
Yeah.
What do you Greg? Yes, it does. The new Tunzi 60. I had my first ever pumps for my Red Sea tank were Tunzi 6095s. The Tunzi 6095s that you get in the last 2 years come with its own controller.
That controller is nowhere near the controller of the Nero, though.
I'm looking at him at BRS right now. You got a little box with dials, so you can basically control the pulse time. That's it. You can't change your modes every hour and ramp it up and down and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. Yeah, but you can do pulsing and stuff like that. Feed timer.
That's it.
That's what I meant. Okay,
that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like the other one, you have your different feed modes or whatever, your different pulsing modes, all that type of stuff. You can work into it. If you have multiple, you can sync them and anti-sync or
and rather than like the Tunzi where it's a pulse. It's one speed, one speed, one speed, one speed. The Nero will ramp up, ramp down.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've
180 to 299 for the Tunzies.
It's 180 now.
Okay, even some of them are even more. Dang. Okay, let me screen share this again.
I think it's 230 the standard price when they're not on sale.
Like I don't know what this thing is, but that's $350.
Stop looking at the Canadian dollar.
I'm on BRS.
I'm just playing with you.
It's 230, 60.95. That's a 60.55.
60.95. But look at this weird looking thing. That's 340.
That's what I'm going with.
Oh, those are great pumps. 5-year warranties.
2 of those.
It looks funny though.
5-year warranties. They're great.
It's ugly. Yeah, it looks big and intrusive.
You want to know what sold me on that pump, Dev?
I'm really curious. To me, I'd be like, that's too big.
They are recommending that you clean it once a year.
Oh, that's all right.
And that means every 2 years.
Death Mage has one. She did a demonstration of it. I'm surprised where she has it in the tank. The amount of flow she got. Farmboard, we've had one. Also, Dev, that thing comes with a 5-year warranty.
Yeah,
a 5-year warranty. Like
it is absolutely silent. Not kind of silent. It is absolutely silent.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. It's super silent.
The impeller is magnetically levitating inside the well.
Yeah, that's how they all should be, though.
No. There's no points of friction. There's no points of friction at all.
I appreciate
and that's why it can go so long without cleaning.
I appreciate it.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen videos, and Farmboy Reef, I was surprised by the flow he was able to get out of that thing, and 5-year warranty. And because I was writing something about warranties and stuff, so I wanted to get I messaged Roger, and he told me those pumps can basically last 10 years, and we gave a 5-year. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can't remember, other than a car or something. When was the last time here in America we got something that had a 5-year warranty?
Yeah, but you can't count cars. Cars give you a 5-year warranty or a 10-year warranty because they have to. It's a selling point. What does Toyota give you? 3? Because they don't have to give you a 5-year warranty to sell cars.
That's my complaint about my
They don't have to give Kia, same thing. I mean, Kia, when they first came out, they had a horrible record. You know what? They got to give a 10-year warranty now.
He said we built it to last for 20 years and wanted the warranty to reflect the confidence that we have in the pump. It's the last pump you need to buy. Jeez. 5-year warranty.
Biz looks at it the exact same way.
Do you know what I want to build? I have a cool idea.
Okay.
I want, for a peninsula tank, because I hate having any equipment visible in the end. Do you know how there's those little rocks where you could hide a pump in?
Mm-hmm.
I want to do that, but with an MP10 or an MP40 and couple it through the bottom of the tank. And then you just need some kind of a basket or something to protect it from sucking in sand. But if you could have it hidden within a little rock that blow at a 45, maybe there's a nozzle in the end or something. But I want to.
I've seen people with MP40s on the bottom of a tank.
Have you? Okay. See, I think that would be cool, but I want it with my sand bed and hidden in a rock or something, so you don't know it's there.
They do it. They do a rock structure over it so that water comes out of all the areas. So
I'm kind of half toying with figuring a way to do that. But my only thing is you got to somehow have a little barrier or something so it doesn't suck in sand and whatever else, right?
Or you don't use sand.
Yeah, it doesn't look as good.
I know.
I thought about trying an epoxy sand bed, but I'm still not fully sold yet.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. But I'm contemplating. I'm going to start this tank with bare bottom. I've never done bare bottom tanks, but I'm going to start this one with bare bottom.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'll probably end up with sand, but I'm going to start it that way.
The problem for me is you get stuff. Like, you'll get like algae and like I don't know, you just get crap building up on the bottom core line. And you also get core line on like your silicone in the sea. I don't know. Sand kind of protects it and it doesn't get as algae easy. I don't know.
No, I agree.
But I think like that, then you could have a power head on the bottom of your tank without any wires, but you just need some kind of cool to do. I think it'd be sweet. I'm still seeing if I can figure out something. Part of my OCD of keeping that pin thing clear.
Wait, MP10 is, what is an MP10? An MP10 is 235 for the non-wireless.
But it's only 1,500 gallons an hour.
And this one is
half
double
the
that.
flow. This is double that.
You know what? Maybe they did think about this a lot more than we thought.
No, you got to realize, I mean, Ecotech is, I mean, it had to fit somewhere between that MP10 and MP40.
Yeah. I mean, it is a different brand, right? Like, it's obviously they own that brand, but it's kind of a different. They're different markets they're going for with the two different brands.
Yeah,
correct.
You know what? I want one of these.
I kind of do too. I'm gonna throw in the Nano if I can get one.
Ecotech, what do I need to do to get one of these pumps? Like, I am going to, if I see Jay or anybody from Ecotech, I've never begged for anything before. I'm going to beg for one.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yes. Ecotech, I'm going to cut this part of the video out. So let me do a close-up. Ecotech, I've never asked for a free product before. Can I have one of these pumps to try? Or at least get a discount or something on one to try? Please. I am so interested. I think the only other product I begged for was the eCoral controller. So this is my second bag, but Ecotech, you are first on my list.
Did you get an eCoral? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to give away a couple at the Reefapalooza raffle.
An eCoral?
No.
What are you giving away?
The AI pumps.
I would like to win one. How do I win?
Wait, you're giving it away?
I'll get some for the Reefapalooza raffle.
Do you have to be there to win? Because
can I remotely win somehow?
Yes.
Have you not watched one of my raffles?
No. Apparently, I'm missing out.
Well, you haven't, Dev, but I thought Oz may have stayed for the New York show. Yes, you have to be present to win.
Dang.
And it is anticlimactic if you're not. So I want to give everything away, and I want to see it walk away.
I like it when it's climactic.
Click Clack said he's been begging. I've been begging. I even told him I have 8,000 people in an AI group. But Marcus, if you're going to be at Magna, we could go beg together. Like there's strength in numbers.
You never know.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to get at least 2. I usually get about 2 of everything when I do the order for the raffle. So.
Nice.
Yes. Dev, yeah, but that didn't help me.
Well, maybe it will.
I do want one of these pumps. I do. I think, yes. I would love to have one. I think that and the eCoral. Although I'm a little bit kind of disappointed. I haven't heard much about the eCoral since they got a lot of press and a lot of, I think, positive stuff.
Yep.
I just think,
what do you want to know?
That's right. Dev has one.
Yeah, I got one. What do you want to know?
No, I mean, I don't want to see. Well, I want one to try.
That's fair.
But I played with one at Reefapalooza. I actually helped them program the Kessel to ramp up the Kessel at Reefapalooza, New York.
Awesome.
I like the UX. I want one to try, but I also want to know when this thing is going to be on sale and retailers carrying it. Like, I'm not seeing any of that.
I had a discount code in my video.
Yeah, but
probably expired.
Yeah, I think they're only selling them direct.
Oh yeah,
I had $100 off code in my description of my video.
Yeah, I know, but
always trying to hook up the peeps. Come on
No.
now.
That when they're only selling them direct, like I don't. You know what I mean, Greg? I hear you, but
I'm not saying nothing.
Okay, all right.
I got on this subject. I got to remain neutral.
All right. I can say it because I have no ties to anybody at all. Like when Marine Depot or Boat Creek Supply or Premium Aquatics or someone else are carrying it, then I'm more likely to buy. But
why?
I'm not.
What is your reasoning?
Just confidence. Like
Okay,
if no one's gonna like Jabo, like no U.S. retailer carries it, but I've just seen enough of you guys use it over the course of time, which let me trust Jabo and use
I've
Jabo
warranted
stuff.
Jabo stuff before, though.
Huh?
I've warranted Jabo stuff. I warranted the pump on my CP40 once.
Yeah, I never got warranty, but
I think I had to pay shipping, but they gave me a new motor for it. So
enough people use Jabo stuff, and I see it that I was willing to test it. But if no retailer is willing to like even with the Coral Box stuff, like there was a company in the US that was warrantying it, so that sold it to me, so I used it. Reef Breeders. But if Marine Depot, Premium Aquatics, Saltwater Aquarium, or anyone is not carrying it, then I just want to see it in trade somewhere before.
It's hard on a product that's that expensive to get a big company to buy into it. I mean, geez, you're looking at GHL just barely got in the big stores.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't on BRS. They just barely got into Marine Depot just recently.
Yeah.
I understand, but you also have to see from my point of view, I fully understand that, Greg. I do understand that. But when no one is carrying it, like a lot of places were selling. When I bought my GHL, I bought it from Aqua Cave. There were other people that were carrying GHL stuff. So far, you can only get eCoral from eCoral.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I have to see your point.
My big complaint is the introductory price.
Yeah, I think it's
the fact that it's right there. It's right there with an Apex. I just don't see a reason why you would ever choose it over an Apex.
Yeah, no, I think if they were priced a couple $100 cheaper, they'd do a lot better.
They gotta get them out there, because the longer it sits with no users, the more irrelevant it will become.
Although they have done a few app updates, they fixed some stuff that I complained about, so that made me happy to see.
I spoke to them in person about the thing, and I know they're working on the trade thing, but it's just not, And I saw the level sensor thing work in person. Like I've demonstrated it. I've touched the user interface. Like I helped them program at Reefapalooza, New York. I helped them program the Kessel, to it, and I saw the Kessel ramp up, ramp down. So I see it, but no one else. Listen, if I get one from them, I'd put it on my Nano tank immediately.
Water level sensor,
but I do wanna. I want one. I really do want one. eCoral, if you're listening, I take back everything I just said. I'll take one. But if I'm gonna spend money on one, then I you know what I mean?
I feel if it was like $100 at least cheaper than the Apex, they'd be in a lot better spot. But being at the same price or more expensive is a pretty hard bite to chew. Especially when you look at the fact that it has 6 outlets instead of 8, because that's what a lot of people will go down to. Because they both have pH probes, they both have salinity, they both have blah blah blah. But the fact that it has those more ports right there is a selling feature, right? So especially for being new, they need to be
one, but they don't nearly have the things that
the expandability,
the accessories, the expandability. They don't have anything near that. They may in the future, but you said a key word there. May.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We don't know.
And I don't, and I, to be honest, I think everything I said to the guy, I spoke to, I probably should have asked, I don't remember what he told me about the pricing, why the price is so high, or whether he played it off. But I also like the fact that with the power brick, the way they've, like the US power brick is our power brick. But I think what they've done with the international power brick, I think for EU, China, Australia, I think they said they were working on, like the engineer was there and he was showing me some stuff they're working on. Brazil, but they've made it so you can actually like pop out. I'm looking on the website and it says coming soon, so I guess they're still working on it. But they'll have an international version that can be used in multiple countries that you just essentially pop out the, you know?
I strongly suggested to them that'd be very wise if they had one that worked for like Europe and a lot of these markets that are more neglected. So I'm curious to actually do it.
I agree. I told them that too. I told them we have friends in the UK who, for whatever reason, don't like Apex or, you know, like I told them. They said, you know, Brazil is a market. Like I think they've done their research and they know. It's just it's a difference to talk about it, but to do it and execute against it is a whole nother thing. So, I think I'm like you. I think I'm intrigued by it.
Yep.
Even though I don't have one, but the
price was right for me. I'm not going to complain.
But you understand? Like I can't buy it if Aqua Cave or no one else is before BRS or anyone else sold the DHL doser. There were so many other stores you can still go to and get it. I bought it from Aqua Cave, Aquarium Specialty. There were a few other places that I can get. Place I trusted that I can get, you know, my GHL doser from.
How are you liking the GHL doser?
I love my GHL doser. It's just the software that, you know, the initial setup, I have to say. But the software has been getting updates. I don't think is there a way to monitor how much is left in your container with Apex without the optical sensor thing?
No, I don't think so.
I thought what about the FMM?
Well,
the fluid monitoring.
You could use an optical sensor to do it, or you can put a flow switch in there.
Yes, but you can also tell with GHL. You can just tell GHL, hey, my container has 1,000 mils.
Yeah,
and it knows how much it's dosing. Yeah, CoralBox does it, and they send you alerts. Like little things like that is built in. I like the hardware.
Did I tell you about my newest toy?
One sec, and they've been making updates to the app like the last couple of months. Like the web app, it's not Apex yet, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
So they've been making updates to it. But the fact that you need a Windows machine to get this bad boy running is not cool.
Did you tell you about my newest, greatest, awesome tool toy?
No.
Do you want a hint?
Yeah. Can't see. Let me see. It's not focusing. What is that? History. I can't. What is? It's just showing me dosing history. What is?
Those are test results.
I'm about to call you. Let me mute before. Let me call you some words. All right.
So, so that's.
You mean like your history of test?
No, no, don't. Let's not even indulge him.
Oh, never mind.
No. Yep.
Gotcha. We're not exactly what it is now.
We are going to.
I know what it is. You don't have to show me.
I can't eject him from the stream.
I'm probably going to do a video on it this weekend. I've been playing it for last week.
Oh man,
it's not. It's not the one that's not released yet. It's something else.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know what you're thinking of, but it's pretty awesome. It's an amazing tool. And I just ordered my BNC cable, showed up today, so I can link it up to Apex to log my results in there.
Oh,
you just figured it out.
Oh, I thought you had that one, but you actually
that one's not released yet. Yeah, that one's not released yet.
You know what? I heard that through the grapevine that you got it. So I knew that. Oh, I knew that. Oh, okay. I take it back.
Wait a minute.
I don't hate it.
I think I'm lost now.
All right. Okay. Do you know the Alcatronic, the automated alkalinity tester?
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I got one of those now. So pretty stoked.
I heard that. I thought he got the Apex one, which I was about to.
I want that one. It's not out yet.
I wasn't liking Dev very much when I thought he had.
That's not even in beta testing yet. I do want one though.
All right, cool.
I want them both. I'm not gonna lie. But
we have a mine stream here in Southern California.
Nice.
You what? You have a mine stream that
No,
works.
I don't have a mine stream.
Oh.
I said here in Southern California we have a mine stream. I can't say any names because that person signed an NDA, and I just happened to be at their house and noticed something out of the corner of my eye move, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
You know, I gave
Does
them
that actually
Kickstarter.
work?
I was one of their original backers on Kickstarter back in the day when they were doing the thing. It's been like a 5-6 year thing coming, longer than that probably. I was working at a company for 8 years, and I think it was probably before that. So it's probably been 8 years.
Oh, that's been in the works for so long.
Yeah, it's been in the works for a long time.
Yep.
But the person who I know that has it is in love with it.
Nice.
And it's been extremely reliable.
Yeah.
And
so that's awesome. I'm just about at a week so far with the Alcatronic running, and it's been pretty solid so far. Actually, there's a lot of safety stuff built in. I haven't let it dose yet, just letting it monitoring for now. One cool thing: the first day I had it, I told it to test every like 2 to 4 hours because I want to see my alkalinity throughout the day, and it was pretty rock solid stable because I have my dosing on over a 24-hour period, so it does like a 0.7 mil dose every like 15-20 minutes. And it was like not more than like a 0.2, 0.3 type of thing. Like it's pretty darn stable, like consistently. So that made me happy. Now, after I did that, I realized my elk is way too high because I haven't tested it in a while. So so I've turned off my dose for the last couple of days. I'm letting it slowly fall. So I might turn it back on tonight. My next measurement's in an hour, so I'll see what it says. But I'm trying to let it drop back down because it was 10.5. I went back to like 8.5-ish. So right now it's testing every 12 hours, but it's pretty awesome. So next step, which I'm going to do tomorrow, which I got to film this next, but I'm going to hook it up to the Apex. I'm going to have to take off my ozone for now and hook it up to the Apex so that I can read it through the pH port to get my measurements into Apex.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Hey.
I still worry about those things.
Listen, you for someone, I love technology, and I've actually been very not skeptical that it's not going to work. But I've heard people say, "Oh man, it's automated alk doser." I'm like, you guys are nuts. If you think within the first 2 or 3 years of this thing, I'm ever going to like have it adjust anything at all. Like I'm always gonna do backup with my HANA checker or anything, but to know what's going on, but we've had discussions where someone is like, "Oh man, I'm gonna have it dose my alk automatically." I'm like,
"Oh yeah."
You know, my buddy actually, I think, is going to do that. I'm going to give it at least a few weeks before I even consider it. Now, the best part about this is my buddy bought one too. So my buddy Brad, who has the Focustronics on his tank, the lights, the Focus ones, he got one as too. He's actually the one that talked me into this because he's been obsessed with getting one for like a year now. So the cool thing is I'm going to be able to play and compare it on 2 different tanks. So I think this is going to be a good test run for it.
Yeah, but to dose... Oh my gosh, you guys are nuts.
You know what though? Check this out. Just let me quick little spiel. So it has a thing called washout mode, which is like a safety. So if it does a measurement and it's more than 0.2 off of what the previous measurement is, it'll retest to confirm itself for safety. And if you do let it make a dose, you tell it your tank size, all that stuff, and it will do like a bit of a dose. And then 2 hours later, it'll test again to see where it's at. And if that didn't work, like it has a lot of safety features built in. So, I mean, I'm not there now to do it, but I might do it eventually because there is a lot of fail safes that they've built in, which is good.
My biggest concern is the fact that it relies on a pH probe.
Yeah.
They don't last forever.
No, I mean, realistically, if you are dosing like every 6 months, you should be recalibrating it all and making sure it's all still in check and whatnot.
Yeah, but when it stops calibrating, what happens?
You buy a new one.
No one's had one long enough, huh?
I think the manual said you should replace it every 2 years, I believe. And I think they said you should calibrate it every 6 months. I believe that's what it said.
I've had pH probes die on me.
Yeah, that's what I'm...
I literally do not have a pH probe now because I was taking it out of my thing and I guess something happened to it and it won't calibrate anymore. But no, Dev, I hear what you're saying.
Okay, okay, let me finish my thing here. So I would not use it as your main doser. I would still use your regular 2-part or your calcium reactor. But if your stuff is out of line or dropping, you could let it do little mini doses to just bump it back into line. I wouldn't use as your main doser. I wouldn't let it be dosing like 50 mils a day. But if it dosed a couple of mils here and there to like tweak it, if you had a bunch of new coral or something, then maybe. But for now, I'm only running it strictly to monitor. If my buddy wants to do it to dose, I mean, have at it because I'm curious. And I appreciate the fact that I go to his house and film a second unit doing something on a different tank. So that's good for me because more good video content for me to compare.
I would always want to, it doesn't matter. I think for the next year, if I had the Alcatronic, I think I would always want to back up whatever it's seeing with a HANA checker or something. I don't think I would ever have. Listen, I'm glad your buddy's doing it. Like, I would love your buddy for the same thing. Like, be the guinea pig. God knows I've been the guinea pig. I've been the guinea pig too many times with that. I'm tired of doing it. But in terms of dosing, automatically, like, there's no way in hell.
Yeah, it's only gonna be monitor for me for a while now, right? But just seeing the fact, because I break up my doses to like every like 15-minute type of thing, it's pretty much like a calcium reactor. Like, it's pretty darn stable. So I'm still on the fence if I'm gonna go back to calcium reactor now. But it's just cool to know that it can. And for me, it's just enough. Like, I could just tell it to watch it, for instance, and I could tell Apex or anything, send me an alert if it's out of range. Actually, the unit itself can send you an alert if it's out of range, right? So you can say, if it's above this or below this, notify me. Like, so even just modifying, you're like, oh, hey, something's up. Go look at it. Go tweak your doser by 2 mils or something. But that's my excitement of the day. But anyways, so yeah, I got to film a video on it this weekend. I filmed an unboxing and setup, but I got to do a little more testing. I wanted to use it for a couple of weeks before I actually did a video.
Yeah, yes, Dev. I mean,
but okay,
I'm happy you're doing it. Now,
case in point, my alkalinity was 10.5, which is way higher than it should be. And I did, some of my Monties are not happy for a long time now, and it's probably because my elk's way too high. And it's because I've been lazy not testing. So the fact that it can auto test for me is pretty sweet.
Hey guys.
What's happening? Hey.
Hello.
What up?
Talk.
No kidding, stranger.
I know, work and my schedule, like, I keep missing every other like stream now, and I was so sad. And then I saw this pop up, and I'm like, well, I'm in the back office. I can listen in while I'm
nice.
doing something else.
Excellent.
I feel your pain on that one. That's how I was for a while.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We all go through that summer lull, and I think my wife has been pushing that summer where I don't know if it's a thing. It's just a little bit harder to love your tank during the summer.
No, the whole hobby is a lull in the summer. It's 100% seasonal. If I post a coral in the summer, it's freaking crickets. I post in the winter, 5 people will message me.
Yeah, and but my wife has told me, she said, if you don't at least try to maintain some semblance of the streams or something, when winter comes and everyone's back in, you're going to start from scratch. So she's the one that's really been pushing me. She said, at least, like, tonight was only be an hour. Like, we've been going for 3 hours. Yeah. So, it ends up being fun.
I'm the same way. Like, I've purposely been making myself cut off my live streams at like the 45 to an hour, because in the winter, I'll have double the people I have on it now. Right? Like, now it's
everybody's in the house. It's cold.
Exactly.
Well, here in Southern California.
But it's a little, but it's a little harder.
Relative.
It's not as motivating to make videos when you see like your views drop in half because everyone's outside, no one's watching it.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I've been watching all your stuff, Dev.
Oh, you're so sweet.
super helpful, because I did let my tank go through a little bit of a lull, and I had to clean up after it. So I've lost a torch in the process.
Oh no,
that's my fault. But hey, you live and you learn. The rest of it looks great now, though. I did some different stuff on it. I got my Chano reactor finally online.
Nice.
So that's exciting. And then I finally came up with a name for my new channel.
What is it?
It's gonna be Steph's Reef Fantasy.
Nice. Yeah. Very cool.
Oh, I thought you were going with the box one.
No.
or the Nichaven.
I still like the Niche Reef.
About my box.
Nice.
Awesome. She's in California too. Where are you? You're in San Francisco, right, Steph? I think she went back to work.
She's muted. She's probably here and gone.
Yeah, no automated dosing for me, but I'm happy to try out whatever tech.
Yeah, you know what though? Like, Stability is the biggest thing, right? If automating dosing makes your stuff rock solid stable, then there's definitely some benefit there.
I'm sorry,
I mean,
I heard you guys ask me a question. What was the question?
You're in San Francisco?
No, I'm farther south. Actually, I was hit by the holy fire.
you guys got fires too?
Yeah, so that's I posted in somebody's, I think it might have been yours, Debs. Otherwise, it was in Malev's group forum about being affected by the fires and what to do in case they got closer, because we got pretty bad smoke. It was about, I don't know, 10 minutes away from where I lived, and if the wind would have shifted the other way, we would have had to evac.
So you're an OC?
Yeah, I'm in the OC. I'm right at the base of the Saddleback Mountain, right at Trabuco.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Last Thursday, after we were on, I think it was the fire really bad there? Like last Thursday?
Yeah, last Thursday it actually. Well, was it last Thursday or the week before? I don't even.
Or the week before. I just know we were on the live stream, and right after we went, my mother-in-law called, saying she could see the flames.
Yeah,
and was getting worried. So I had to go drive around to go figure out where it was, but once I found it was on the other side of the 241, I was cool.
Yeah, we were still safe because it was over. They put a lot of laws check up at the hill so that it wouldn't come over. But I was watching that too, because had it come over Saddleback, it would have come right down towards us. So
yeah.
It was kind of scary, but it was also a good lesson in like how to keep my tank alive in case I had to evac. So I have auto feeders and stuff now.
Cool.
Prepping for my first vacation away from the tank, which will be interesting.
Yep.
So are you gonna go to Reefapalooza since you're here in the OC?
I am. Are you gonna be there too?
Yes.
This is Mr. Reefapalooza.
Oh, this is Mr. Reefapalooza?
Yeah, no, his Reef Club. He started the show. Let's just say that.
No. The Reef Club did.
No. This sounds better. It sounds better.
Yeah.
Started the show.
So I went last year before I actually got my tank, and it was like, I was so sad because I wanted so many things, and I had no tank to put any of them in. So this year, I'm like going in with a purpose. I'm going to win one of the big tanks so that I have
solid plan.
And
well, if you win, it'll be me giving it to you.
Oh, that'd be so awesome. We should meet up anyway so that I can say hi.
I'm there all day.
He is Mr. Reefapalooza.
Both days, sir. I'm going to go both days.
So yeah, we stay in the hotel and everything. So.
Oh, that'll be awesome. Yeah, we're not going to because it's just down the road, but.
I know, but there's some good deals if you stay in the hotel. You get free tickets and raffle tickets too.
Free tickets are solid.
That's true.
Where's this hotel? What is this?
This is at the Anaheim Marriott, where Reefapalooza, California is.
When is it?
I think it's October 16th and 17th.
6th and 7th.
6th and 7th. Excuse me, 6th and 7th. Yeah.
You're fine.
That's too close for my bank account.
Yeah, I know. I asked my wife about Reefapalooza CA, and I got promptly shot down. So I'm sorry, Greg.
You can walk.
The problem that I have too is like I'm going up to Canada for 2 weeks right before, and then I come back, and then the next weekend is Reefapalooza. It's like everything all at once. But
me too.
Yep.
I'm excited. It was a lot of fun last year, so I'm very excited to see everything. I've been stalking all the vendors on the website to see who's going to be there this year.
Nice. Yep. Maybe I'll come. Maybe the next year one will be good.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you even if you have a family, it's a great place.
Yeah.
You can walk to Disneyland. It's right next door.
We went to Disneyland last spring, so I think I might strategically plan a Disneyland/route trip in the future.
Well,
there you go.
Earlier, it's going to be in August, right? So
it will be in August. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But even without the Disneyland thing, I think take the family to Reefapalooza and take cousins and stuff, even if they don't have tanks, and they love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the nice thing is, like, it's over at 5, so then you can go to Disneyland in the evening when it's not so hot out too.
And not just that, it's in the evening. In October, they have the Halloween thing going on, so they're open. Cool. They're open late.
Nice.
So how far are y'all from San Francisco?
About
350 miles.
Oh, never mind.
I'm curious how far I am now.
It's not that far. I just came from there.
Yeah, but my only hope of a California trip is San Francisco.
Oh.
Because that's where my wife has to go visit.
No, OC will be a nice trip and it'll be cheaper.
I am 1,024 miles.
That's not bad.
That's not so bad. I'm traveling 3,000 miles in 2 weeks, so.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious.
It's about the same distance as Memphis to Baton Rouge, Jeeves. Then from
Yep.
But we're still in the same state. We don't actually leave the state.
That's true.
Well, we just go the same distance. That's just y'all run north to south and we don't.
Right.
It's a different direction.
Mississippi, Alabama. Oh. I hope you enjoyed. I really wish. It's just that this year has been a year of trips, and but next year definitely.
All right.
Are you?
I want to meet you in person, Seymour.
Yeah, next year. I think I'm going to Macna, and I think there's not unlimited funds. There's a budget.
I have the same problem.
And since
because you went to Worldwide Corals.
I didn't buy anything.
I didn't buy anything at Worldwide, and the agreement was since I get to go on to Macna, now I got to figure out. I think my wife has already given me a list of anniversary gifts for next year, so it's gonna cost me. It's not free.
Make sure you take really good videos for me because I don't get to go to Macna this year, but I definitely want to see the stuff that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
My anniversary hasn't even happened this year. But when you get a list for next year and she tells you, don't worry about this year, just work on this stuff for next year, you know you're in trouble already.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I've just done the reverse. I'm like, if you let me get a fish tank, you don't need to buy me a birthday or Christmas or an anniversary.
I'm sweating thinking about this already.
Oh, what? Yeah, that's cool.
Next year. I think I'll do next year. I think I've never been on the West Coast. I think Dallas is as far west as I've gone. Oh, I'm going to Las Vegas now, so that's as far west as I've been. Never been on the West Coast, so got to make it happen.
That'll be awesome.
Nice.
Well, the good thing is we typically always have good weather.
Pretty much.
Solid.
I've heard.
Yep. Sounds pretty good.
We might be on fire for a little bit, but
it's okay. I'm on fire here where I am locally right now. It's just like
how you are with all the fires up there because I've seen that it's pretty bad.
The last 3 years in a row now, it's like almost like a seasonal thing now. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, ours is getting to the point where it's almost a year-round thing now.
Yeah. Like, let's see if I can find that map that showed them all. It was ridiculous how many around.
Well, I saw one that it was super, super exaggerated of some of the fires and that stuff, but
yeah,
California.
I mean, my friends lived up near Fort McMurray, so when that one went through, I saw how fast that lit up.
Yeah. Okay. Seriously, look at this. It's freaking is ridiculous. Like this is BC. Like all the fire maps for BC. They're everywhere lately. So I'm in Kelowna, so it's like do like all around me. It's just the whole valley's just been. It's like smoky every day lately.
I used to live there too.
Where'd you used to live?
I used to live in Vernon.
Oh, did you? Oh, nice. Super close.
For about 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Ah, very cool.
Area.
Yep. Not too far at all.
Plus, we have our very own lake monster, so that's a thing.
That's true. That's very good.
I've got a question for you, Greg. Is the California show bigger than the New York show?
No.
I have only been to the Orlando show. That's all I know.
From everything that I've seen from the maps and the videos that I've watched, the California show seems to be the smallest of the shows.
All right. Are you going to do any live streams or videos from Reefapalooza?
Me? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let me make sure.
I did a brief video last year before I started getting in everything, but I'll definitely do a much better video this year. And especially because we're going to go for both days, it'll allow me to have some time to wander around and kind of look at everything and then also video it and live stream it.
Are you going to change the name of your channel or?
No, I'm creating a whole new one. So I actually started following most of you guys with the new one already.
What is it called already again?
It's Steph's Reef Fantasy.
Steph's Reef Fantasy.
You should put a link somewhere so I can find it.
Let me.
I find it, but I can't find it on YouTube. Steph's Reef Fantasy.
Yeah, it's brand new. So
one word.
Yeah. Should be. Hold on.
I found Steph Reed. No. All right. Yeah, I definitely want to, if you're going to be streaming, one of the things last year, I think I mentioned it to Greg, is we didn't see a lot of live streams or videos about.
Yeah, you guys were telling me that too. Like somebody else had stumbled across my video and they were telling me that I should have renamed it so it was easier to find.
Wait, did you live stream last year?
I didn't live stream. I just did the regular little video afterwards.
Wait, did you take a road trip with another girl? Was that you?
No.
Wait,
I was there with my hubby.
What did you call it? Reefapalooza, Orlando?
Reefapalooza, California, something.
California 2017?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on a second. Reefapalooza. Cruising with Kayla. That's not you?
No.
Coralfish 12G.
And it's under this channel, like the one that I'm on.
Why can't I find it? Oh! I did watch your video.
Yep.
There was no one there.
Yeah, it was so little. But it's really fun. I ran into Mark Levinson. He was really cool.
Nice. Yeah, he's a super nice guy. I met him in Vegas a while ago.
I got to meet Randy from BRS. That was also super cool. I have a picture with him.
Nice.
Yeah, it was neat. It was a lot of fun. And now that I'm actually in the hobby and know kind of a little bit about what I'm doing or what I would like to do, it makes it easier this year, I think, for asking the right questions and learning stuff. And yeah,
that's promising.
Oh, eCoral was giving out stuff last year.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I got a nice Red Sea T-shirt. All right, I see you.
Mm-hmm. See, that beautiful red T-shirt that I had entered into a draw for a Red Sea Peninsula tank.
For the reefer.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. And I didn't win it either, and I was so mad because I was like, this is my chance. I'm going to win a tank, and I won nothing.
Yeah, we gave away a lot of tanks.
You did. I'm hoping that this year you give away some tanks too, and then I get lucky. I want a bigger one.
We're going to try.
I have my little 20-gallon, which I love, but now I need a bigger one. I also have to. I have to join the Reef Club still too. I've been meaning to do that as well.
Well, that one's easy.
Yeah, I know. I want the special access to the secret R2R forum.
I can't find the new channel. I really can't find the new channel. I've been looking.
I'll get you the link for it when I'm at home.
All right, no worries.
Well, the secret forum only has action at certain times of the year.
Oh, gotcha.
There's only certain things that I can't publicize, so that's where that comes in handy.
God.
So I should join it, you say?
I should join.
Well, those things wouldn't be helpful. We do certain field trips.
Yeah.
That are exclusive to us.
Sounds like fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Is that like fish store tours and stuff like that?
Maybe.
You have to join to find out.
And to join the secret club, you have to join the Reef Club for Southern California.
Yeah, you better get on that.
It's a really reasonable fee for a year.
I have to say, well, it's a reasonable fee because we have an income.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, but I mean, we have loyal members from as far as San Diego. We have one member from Alaska that occasionally comes to the meetings.
Oh, that's so cool.
He hops on a plane, and I guess he gets free travel.
Sweet.
So he occasionally hops on a on a plane and comes to the meetings. And he comes to Reefapalooza. So
that's cool.
So yeah, we got a lot of people that drive a long ways to come to our meetings for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that far from me. Santa Ana's not that terrible. It's just I work retail, so Friday nights suck. But I feel like I should be able to come every
Yeah, well, we don't start till 7, so the traffic's died down a bit. So
yeah, that's
by then, typically.
You guys should live stream a meeting, Greg.
Yeah, let us foreigners.
That would make it so that there's no incentive to actually come to the meeting.
Just one meeting.
We don't record them.
Oh.
Nope.
But maybe it'll inspire new people to be like,
if you say you don't even record them, then there's no way I'm going to convince you guys to even live stream one.
Well, what was funny is because here in August, we had Kyle Elder from up in Canada. We flew him down.
Oh, he's nice guy.
Yeah, and some guy, Daniel Bannister from Reef to Reef, the mod there, he's one of our members. And he's like, I'm going to be in Chicago at Aquashella. And I'm like, that's okay. I'm going to be in San Francisco. He's all, you should record it. And I'm like, nope. He's all, don't you want to see it? I said, yep. Well, then we should record it. Nope. Because they won't come to the meeting.
Yeah. I see your logic there.
Meetings, and unfortunately, you really do need that interaction for a meeting to be successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
You know, we're using old tech by having a physical meeting in the first place. So, you know, we go too high tech, everybody's going to be sitting on their phone watching the meeting. I don't want that.
If you could go to church on Facebook now, man, then you could go to a reef
exactly.
It's funny.
I hear you.
Something so different about being in it in person. Like, I go to a lot of conventions and I've like BlizzCon and stuff like that.
I wish I had local ones.
You know, being able to be there is so different from watching it.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's like a whole different universe. Plus, you're surrounded by all the people who love the same thing you love, so you can all be like little nerds together. It's great.
Exactly.
Fish nerds or like gaming nerds or whatever. Like I just love all that like nerd scene.
Sounds pretty solid. I like the geekiness too. It's good.
Dev, where in Canada are you?
I'm in British Columbia.
Wait, Dev, are you back in the studio?
No, I have a quick question. Just quick framing. Does it look better having it with like the gray frame around it, or like full screen?
Full screen.
Full screen photos. All right, thank you. No, I'm just playing. I'm trying to.
And make sure you tell them the glass ones, because they don't tip over. Because the plastic ones are cheaper. And if people go there, they can be expensive. But Target and Walmart in the US, you can get them really cheap. You don't have to buy them for $15-$12 on, because I think expensive. Just go to Walmart,
really?
Target.
Yeah, they're like $4 something at the store to buy them here, anyways.
Yeah, you can get. I bought mine at Walmart and Target for like $2 each.
Okay, sweet. So I got a video on this slide.
All right. All right, guys. It's been going for 3 hours now, I think.
Are you leaving us?
Yes, I am. I'm really sorry. It was a really fun stream. I planned on doing this for like 1 hour, and it's been 3 hours.
I think for a little bit. I'm gonna have to create a stream night. Does anybody stream Mondays?
No, you're pretty
DC
open.
used to, but Mondays are open.
Sweet.
DC used to do Reef Church.
Sounds like you're pretty much fair game.
Got it.
All right. Hey, let me hang on a second. Let me post a link to your channel in the chat so everyone can oh my gosh, I gotta find this again. Nichivin.
Are you really leaving us right now?
No. I'm just here is a link to her channel. Subscribe. And
if you follow Reef Dude on Facebook and part of his community, I will put the link for my new channel up in there. So if you're not subscribed to Reef Dude's community, make sure that you go do that.
There you go. Make sure you're in facebook.com/group/reefdudes.
All right. Thank you again,
What's
Greg.
Facebook? I'm just playing.
It's this place to check out reefing groups, aka reef.
You know what? You know what? I was off social media for a while, but I just started a group like a couple months ago, has 200 members, and it's amazing. Excuse me, the amount of people that just interact on Facebook, like it's mind blowing. It is mind blowing.
That I'm not part of, I will go fix that immediately.
Yeah, that is mind blowing. Like, excuse me, I was surprised. Like, I'm not a big now I'm back in social media, but I was off social media for a while. But I was mind blown. Just the amount of people shocked me.
That are on there.
Yeah, that use Facebook. Like, I've tried. I just figured, hey, let me try and sell something on Facebook. It was gone within hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I use it pretty extensively because my whole family is not here, so I'm on that thing like all the time. So.
You know what? And I didn't realize that Reef to Reef has a marketplace on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that. See.
Our local group does too, and they move a lot more on there than they do on the forum.
Yeah. Luciavo, Worldwide Corals. Woo. All right, you know what? All right.
Wait, Lou's on
Facebook? Yeah.
Oh, on Facebook. Okay, I thought you meant on the stream. I'm like, what?
No. No, I'm not that famous.
Never know.
I can get him on.
I've had him on my stream.
What? You know what? I gotta say, Lou is the nicest guy. When I went to Florida, he was busy, so I told them, like, they say you can wait. I told him no, because the guy who I met was doing such a good job of being like a host. Like, I didn't need Lou.
Was that Frankie?
That was Carlos.
Oh, Carlos. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I didn't need anybody. I didn't need Lou to show me around because Carlos basically showed me everything.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, every time when I went in there, everyone started giving me a look. Like, where do we know this guy from? And, they're like, I said, hey, like, you guys look familiar. They said, hey, we're thinking the same thing. You live around here? I said, no, but I'm from New York. I go to Reefapalooza every year. They say, oh, that's where we know you from. I recognize all the faces almost immediately. Like, you could tell which guys went to Reefapalooza every year. I recognize all the faces because, yeah, I see them every year at Reef to Reef. Reefapalooza rap. So it was, I loved it. I'll definitely be going back to that store at some point in the future.
Yeah.
It's
really cool. Did you see their coral farm by chance?
I saw part of it.
Oh.
Next time I'm gonna.
No. He's talking about the offsite location.
Yeah.
No. Next time, no, I did not see that. Next time, I want to see that.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes,
it is.
It's the most corals I've ever seen in one place in my life. It was lovely.
I can't say the same, but yeah.
Okay. It's the most corals I've ever seen. And it was a lot. At least for me, it was. I think I did a video on it, actually. You get a couple of sneaks. Or I'll send you some photos later. But yeah, it's cool.
All right. Thank you again, guys. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you to, I think it's Chris Fishroom and Click Clack Parker earlier for the super chat. Nichiren. I always try to butcher that name on purpose. Sorry. Devin, Billy Pipes, Reef Jeeves. Thank you. Hey, Jeeves.
I'm gonna go pretend to work now. I'll be.
I'm gonna sit here if anyone else doesn't hang up.
Jeeves, we gotta meet up. Like, I mean, we're 5 hours away from each other, Jeeves. We gotta see if we can meet up somewhere in the middle. The next time I'm in Memphis. Well, he's probably working, but we're a couple hours away from each other when I'm in Memphis, so maybe we can meet up halfway. All right, Dev, I'll see you. If there's anything about the presentation, just let me know. I'll be happy to help if I can.
Yeah, just if you have if you have anything you think of that I've ever used for like a tip or a video or DIY or anything or Apex related, anything that you think is cool, or if I haven't done it yet, if you think it'd be awesome to add in. I'm just trying to think of stuff. Like I want people. There's going to be people that are brand new, no idea what to use. There's going to be people that are like hardcore tech geeks, right? There's going to be a spread. So my goal is
there's not going to be no newbies at MACNA.
No.
No newbies. There will be some. Anyway, there's always a spread. So I'm just trying to find some, I don't know, unconventional or just some cool tips and stuff that people maybe think about. I don't know.
I would say email Jeff. You have Jeff's contact info.
I already
yeah, and then hit up the biz.
Oh yeah, do I have this on Facebook? I don't know.
Yeah, hit up the biz. I only have an email address for him, Brian Lackley. So look, maybe you can find him on Facebook. But he's gonna be the person to give you all the tips and all the stuff he did wrong, and because he's done a lot. I think that guy has the most modules I've ever seen on an Apex.
He probably does. What's his last name? Lackley?
Lackley. I can give you his email address and you can email him through there.
Okay.
Brian Lashley. I'll send you his email address.
Perfect. Thank you. Oh, I found him. We're good.
Oh, you found him. All right, see? All right, cool. Yeah. We found him on Facebook.
Yep. I recognize that beard.
Oh. I never even found him on Facebook. Oh, you know what I did? I actually sent the wrong Brian Lashley friend request. Let me take that back. Brian's Lawn and Landscaping. I'll take back my friend request and I'll send it to the bearded guy.
There you go. That's the one, man.
All right.
Recognize that beard anywhere.
All right. All right. Thanks again, Greg. It's always good.
No problem.
When do you expect any other movement on the tank? I know the aquascape is done. Anything else?
Sump left on the 16th, so we're looking at probably another 2 weeks minimum. So before it arrives here in Cali.
All right.
So it really just depends on how long customs takes after that.
What'd you get? What are you getting?
I got a custom Vertex Supra.
Ooh.
No.
Explain this custom aspect of it.
It's bigger.
Ah, very nice, very nice.
Is the tank going to be ready for wrap? Are you going to be done with most of it by wrap?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, all right. I was going to see if I could, maybe fly the wife out for, maybe like a honeymoon getaway, something, and then just swing by your, to video it, look at it, but, that's not going to work.
Yeah, once wrap comes, we have meetings. We have so many meetings for planning and so forth. I'm not going to have time until after the show.
Yeah.
To really get into it. But I mean, it shouldn't be hard because the Supra comes pre-plumbed. So all I really need to do is hook up the return and hook up the drain, and I should be able to fill it after that. I mean,
you only get better from the Supra by I think you have to get a Dream Box to get better than the Supra. I like the Supras, how they come pre-plumbed, and the fact that the one thing I didn't like about the Supras from pictures is the space seems so tight in some of them. But if you got a bigger one, I think you kind of basically solve that issue anyway.
I believe it's at least 50 inches. It's in between 50 and 55 inches long.
Yeah. All right.
So, I mean, it holds a Alpha 300 skimmer.
Ooh.
Yep.
So I emailed the guy that's building my tank today. And
who's building yours?
Concept Aquariums.
Never heard of them.
They're in Calgary.
Canada.
Calgary, Alberta. So it is. What do you say? So the glass is currently being polished in my edges ground because I'm 45ing the peninsula end of the tank.
Mm.
So that will be interesting. I think it will look cool because I think it's going to be less noticeable. Plus, it'll be stronger in the peninsula end like that. So hopefully it's worth it.
I don't know what that means, but is it good?
Instead of a butt joint, I'm getting a 45, grind the edges down, and then 45 them together like a mitered edge.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple companies here that are doing it. It really looks good.
It makes the edge less noticeable. I mean, I'm probably still going to use black silicone just because then if there's ever algae, you don't really see it. But when you look at the end and stuff, you don't really notice the seams as much. It kind of blends it more.
Yeah.
So a little bit questions if I should do clear on it, but I think I'll probably just do black anyways. But I think it'll look cool. I hope so.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm. And then just polishing all the edges. And then apparently they had some shortage of 15 millimeter glass, so they're building it in 19.
Oh, wow.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah, so it's gonna be it's gonna be a tank, 19 mil low iron glass.
Oh man, all these people getting new tanks. I need to find a place to move to and a house so I can get a new tank. I'm getting jealous.
And here I am with my lowly 40 breeder.
This wasn't like a planned upgrade. It just kind of happened.
Just kind of fell into place, huh?
Well, there's this hazy line across the side panel of my glass. And I emailed them about it. This is like last December. Like this is a very slow process. But and basically they said they would have to like buff it out. And he's like, it's probably easier for me to build you a new tank than it is to like deal with buffing it out. So basically they said they would replace the tank. And I was like, well, if you're going to replace it, I might as well do an upgrade. So I'm just going to pay a few hundred more and get a slightly bigger tank.
There you go.
So that's pretty much how it happened. So I'm going bigger, but also meant I need a new stand. And if I'm making a tank, I pay an extra couple $100 for the glass, and my mitered edges is probably going to be a little bit, and blah, blah, blah. So my free tank is probably going to cost me too much, but oh well.
Is there ever, I mean, I know sometimes we were discussing just pricing, but this is not a cheap hobby at all.
No.
At all.
It can be, but it's not. If you want it classy and nice.
And I always say that when I look at the European tanks versus our tanks, I think that's one thing they do. They take care to make sure the tank is like furniture. It's like a piece of furniture. It's not something that looks janky, like it's almost like an afterthought in the home. Like I think when they're building cabinets and stuff, from the pictures I see, like it's always, care is always taken to make sure it's like a piece of the furniture and it's like integrated into the home. And I kind of like that from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. I'm a huge fan of making it like super classy looking. I'm still trying to figure what the heck to do for my side stands though. For the like to skid my steel stand in.
Oh, I'll have to get you pictures when my brother finishes his next project. He's putting the 150 in. He's having one of the local guys build his stand.
Yeah.
And then he's going to combine the base molding and the crown molding from the stand and canopy into his house.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
So it's going to sit against the wall, and the molding along the wall is going to miter into the molding on the tank.
Oh, that's cool. That looks neat.
That'd be awesome.
Nice.
All right. We got it. Everyone's talking about new tanks.
You have a lovely Red Sea. You're fine.
Yeah, but you know.
But my upgrade is forced. Like, I just need an upgrade because if I'm going through the effort of moving stuff from one tank to another, then I might as well.
You know what? For the next year, I'm going to concentrate on growing the heck out of this tank, and then I'll worry about upgrading. Because the one thing is, with me, I realized I've never grown out a tank. I've always gotten pissed or just convinced myself that I needed bigger, and I've never matured a tank. So I'm going to mature the hell out of this.
You mature it real good.
All right.
There's something nice about a mature tank.
All right.
We're staying longer. I know you're trying to get rid of us.
No. It's literally 1 o'clock.
I know.
All right. Thanks again, though.
Only 10.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
9:56.
Good night. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Jeeves, Nachaven, Greg, Devin, Mostly Reefs, I Reef, AL, Reefing with O. Bubba, you're still here? Jonas. Oh man, you guys are Dicanthus Reef. Revo 13, all the people that were in earlier that are now in bed, Reef Keeper. You guys are nuts for being here this late, but thanks a lot and good night.
Take care.
Good night. Hey, Greg, I'm gonna stop. He left.
Dun dun dun.